We're back at it again with the Vanderpump Rules Season 11 Reunion Part 1, the Peacock version this time, the extended cut. We're going to talk about it. We're going to roast it. We're going to recap it. So hopefully you're wearing something comfy and grab a beverage. Let's get started.
If you like what you see, come and get it with me. I know you deserve all you want, 'cause your heart's made of gold. But don't wait till you're old. If you want it, I get you some.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Stand-up comedian and pop culture vulture and Bravo superfan Joleen Lunzer here to talk about Vanderpump Rules Season 11 Reunion Part 1. You guys, what is it? Wednesday. It seems like time has just stopped. So were we live yesterday? It is Wednesday. So yes, part 1 of the Vanderpump Rules reunion aired last night. We went live to kind of give those initial thoughts, those initial feelings that we had. And you guys were here. We had a fun time. We had some laughs. We got silly. Now, because I'm a glutton for punishment, clearly I have watched the reunion again, but this time on Peacock. So it's the extended cut, the uncensored version, I guess you would say. So we are going to break it down and talk about it. Now, remember, and we also have some Vanderpump news and things that has been said by certain cast members after the first part of the reunion has aired. Now, remember, if this is your first time here, I take a comedic look at this whole thing. We do still talk. I mean, we try to make it funny. I try my best to make it funny. But what is going on here? Oh, no. I don't want to shut down Chrome. Stop. Leave us on here. Stop it, Andy Cohen. Quit trying to shut down our voices. Okay. We take a comedic look. We try to make it funny. Everyone in the live chat is super rad and cool. Everyone's opinion is welcome as long as you're not being a butthole. You can agree to disagree with me. I am just a mere fan and commentator of the show. I'm very opinionated. I am very biased. I will just put that out there. I'm not going to be someone to watch if you're looking for someone who just likes everybody. That's not me.
That's my opinion!
But again, you can have your opinion in the live chat. We just don't have to be bungholes to each other, okay? Alrighty. Welcome, everybody. Smash that like if you haven't already. Please subscribe. We're growing in subscribers so much, and I'm so grateful. I think we jumped up like 1,000 in the last month, subscribers. So we're well on our way to 40K. If you have friends who you think would enjoy me, feel free to share me. You know, if you want to share my channel on social media, I'm not going to stop you. If you want to support the channel further than liking or subscribing, you can always send a super chat while we're live. I'll highlight your comment. We can talk about it. You can send a super thanks after the video post. Thank you so much to those of you who have done that. I've gotten so many super thanks lately. I've also been hit up on the Venmo, PayPal, Cash App. So thank you so much for those generous donations to the channel. Everything you need to know about that is at the bottom of the screen and in the description for this video, as well as a link to join my YouTube membership if you'd like, or my Patreon. You don't have to do any of those things, but they're there if you'd like. Melissa, thank you for starting off with the first super chat of the live today. Melissa Turcotte says, yay, I'm so happy to catch the live. Hi, everyone. Hello, Melissa, and thank you so much. Chickenhead PK Neely. Thank you for the super chat. Says, we love what you do. It helps us understand the show. Thank you, Chickenhead. We like to think of it, you know, me and all my friends in the live chat here, we like to think about it as a place we can all go, kind of like therapy, group therapy after each episode, because you guys, because it's been just a crazy season, not at all what most of us expected, and we have to deal with the disappointment that we feel towards some of these cast members, including Lala, the #1 player hater. She is just a player hater. Okay, Christina, thank you so much for the super chat. Christina says, please tell me about Lala. Well, Christina, you know I'm always going to tell you about Lala because she's I just love that because it was so, as I was hearing her speak during part 1 of the reunion, that is what came to my mind. I was like, oh my God, it's Biggie's player hater. Gangsta Lean Lauren from Utah, who likes to say she is Tupac passed away, and then he, even though she was like 5 at the time, he then put his soul into her body. I'm pretty sure you can pick anybody. He's not gonna pick you. All right, you guys. I can't stop. Won't stop. Jill Christine, thank you so much for the super sticker. I appreciate that. Grace, thank you so much for the super sticker. I appreciate that very much, you guys. Okay, so did everyone watch the Peacock version of the reunion? I do. I like that there is a Peacock version because they leave in all the swears, and sometimes you need a good swear, But the only thing that kind of stinks is that it comes out the next day. So I have to wait, which I guess with this one, I could wait. But I would prefer to watch the Peacock version over the Bravo Television Network version. But oh well, I guess it's like a perk, sort of, kind of, maybe. Yeah, you guys know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. Okay. You don't have Peacock. Oh, 122 Dawn. Definitely worth it for if you can swing it. Times are tough and they keep raising these prices. I think Netflix is now like $20 or something. Or over $20. I'm like, what? Netflix? I mean, don't get me wrong. Baby Reindeer was fantastic. It was creepily fantastic, but that's kind of a lot. And I pretty much have every streaming service, but it's worth it for the extended cut, unedited Bravo Television shows, for the episodes that they put on there. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Okay. Here we go. Reunion part 1. Play a hater. Michelle, thank you so much for the super chat. Michelle says, this is my 3rd live with you sincerely yesterday. What? This is my 3rd live with you sincerely yesterday. Or since yesterday? I like sincerely though. Since yesterday, I am seriously addicted. Can't wait to see what you have to say now. Michelle, that is really sweet. If you're going to be addicted to anything, I do recommend it be me. No, no, Joleen, that's not right. But Lala wants you to be addicted to her. Play a hater. Okay. So, I wanted to pull it up here, the extended cut. I wish that NBC Universal would just let us have watch parties together. That would really be that would make everything so much better if we could just play it and they wouldn't copyright strike me. But unfortunately, they are just such okay. They are such player haters. All right. So let's get with the first part of what happened going into the Peacock version. The cocks are out, everyone. Okay. So Andy's greeting everyone. We get, hi, how you doing? Hi, how's everyone doing? Everyone doing good? Everyone's doing good? Okay. Andy's here. Yes. And the after shows too. I did watch the after show, so we'll talk about that. Susie Q, thank you for the super chat. Says, Sans chunky hairband. Love the beachy waves tonight. Thank you. I did a little something. I tried something. Okay. Tom Sandoval, Tom Schwartz, they're like, Tom, is it? And he's like, I see some plant daddy. Did you do this? And then Tom Schwartz is like, fingers in my mouth, nervous, fingers in my mouth. He's like, yeah, I kind of did. We did learn that something about her is open. It's now officially open. And that is very much to the guys' dismay, it seemed like. They had a conversation about this. And even James called it out. He's like, Tom Schwartz, you are smiling from ear to ear, talking about the problems that the ladies have had opening up something about her. And he's like, no, I haven't. And then cut to the editors like, yes, you have. He was smiling. And then they tried to, Tom, Sandy Budd and Tom Schwartz tried to speak as if they are, as if they know anything about this business still, about the restaurant and bar business. I mean, pretty much all of the partners or the partner, Greg, and whoever else is their partner now, They know what they're doing. Lisa Vanderpump knows what she's doing, but you two still don't really know what you're doing. You pick out glasses and shots. No offense, all offense, but that's like what you guys do. So when they were kind of trying to, well, now they understand, and Ariana's like, I always understood, and I always was really supportive of Sharts and Skeezies. I legit was really supportive of your stupid business ventures. I was legit really supportive of you, Tom. And I probably shouldn't have been. No, she didn't say that, but I kind of wish she would have. But under her breath, Ariana was just like, I've always been supportive of your dumb shit. So for you guys to speak as though, now we understand, I always got it and I always was supportive. So please stop. Ugh. And then while they're talking about the sandwich shop, Andy's like, what was the holdup with this sandwich shop? What happened? What's going on? What's the 411? What's happening? Because you ran into some issues with Sharts and Skeezies. And Ariana is just like, oh, her and Katie were like, there's some permit stuff. Thank you so much. I just got a Cash App. Migdalia, thank you so much for the Cash App. That was so generous of you. I appreciate that. He was, they're like, oh, what we just had like issues. We tried to put in a patio in the front, and the patio, I went there. I saw the patio. The patio was really cute. It was super small, but it was really cute. It was a cute little patio, and it's in a cute area that literally is around the corner from Sir, over off like Robertson. And so it's a great place to have a little patio, even if it's little. Any kind of outside space is like fantastic real estate for that area of West Hollywood. And they made them take the patio down. They had permit issues. They had issues with Penny. And it seems like Lisa Vanderpump was sent there by Penny. Lisa Vanderpump was hating. So they explained it, and Lisa jumps right. She goes, oh, no, darling. No, it wasn't that. It's like, Lisa, is this your business? It's crazy that Lisa is, she definitely, I'm not going to say she didn't give the Toms a hard time for Sharts and Skeezies, because she did. She did give the Toms a hard time. But ultimately, she does have more of a vested interest in them, which we've seen since the beginning, since the beginning of time, basically even pretty much before. She's always favored the Toms, in my opinion. And so she has no vested interest in this, other than maybe she was going to get like a percentage from Penny, of like a finder's fee. I don't know, but she seems to be all conspiracies in. She seems to want to, it seems like they got together. Lala, the Toms, Lisa, they pulled a Margaret Josephs and Melissa Gorga, and they got together before the reunion, and they said, here's what we're going to say. We're going to say they didn't open because Katie is mad about Ariana going on Broadway and being away. And also, Tom, remember when you said that Ariana didn't pay rent? Yes, I remember. Okay, we're going to say that Katie said Ariana didn't pay rent at something about her. Okay, yes. And so there was all these like talking points that seemed to be getting hit throughout the first part of the reunion that I thought was very interesting, where I'm like, oh, okay, it really seemed like Lisa, Lala, they definitely are trying to paint a picture that Katie and Ariana are not solid in their friendship and also in their business. And if you've watched throughout the season, like after shows and interviews, you will have heard this before, because this is, I believe, propaganda that has been being pushed against these two women by Lala. Lala talked about on the after show. I forget if she said someone else said it. Brock has talked about it. Now Lisa, where they've been trying to paint this picture that Katie and Ariana are their dynamic is unhealthy, like Tom and Tom's business dynamic. So Ariana is the Tom Sandoval in this situation, where she's just disappearing and leaving Katie the same way Sandoval left Schwartz, holding up this Sharts and Skeezies back alley Franklin shithole village, as James Kennedy called it. their bar, how he just left him there in the middle of Tom Sandoval's scandal and went on tour with his karaoke band. And now they're treating it like Ariana taking a Broadway opportunity. To be on Broadway is the same as Tom Sandoval feeding his ego and paying a group of people to pretend he's the lead singer of a band so he can sing really bad karaoke. Two very different opportunities. Tom Sandoval should have never left. He created this scandal. He left Schwartz and the rest of the people at Sharts and Skeezy to pick up after him. And he was like, I'm going to be a rock star. Rock star. And he can't sing. And he can't afford the band. So because we found out in the Peacock version, did you guys hear? Tom Sandoval still hasn't paid his mom back. What? I mean, we knew it. But to get confirmation that you're still trying to live out your rock and roll lifestyle, this like sad midlife crisis on your mom's dime, you can't have a midlife crisis that your mom's got to pay for. That's craziness. To Tom's mom, listen, I am only a fur baby mom, okay? But if my dogs, and I love both of them, but they can't sing a lick, but they can sing better than Tom Sandoval. But if they came to me and they were like, I need $250,000 of your retirement because I've mismanaged my funds and I'm going to be a karaoke singer. So give me $250,000 of your retirement. I would be like, no, I'm sorry. I love you enough to stop you from all the embarrassment. Okay. I believe that parents should always guide their children in a direction of, you can do anything, baby, except for this, that you should definitely have a list. Okay. Now I'm not a parent, but parents in the chat, feel free to answer, but I think you should have a list for when you're not kids. Okay. But when your adult children come to you. Children, sure. Great. I remember my little niece Lucy, her and I went to see Frozen a million times, and we were like, into the unknown, and we thought we were like acting like we were hitting those Christina Aguileras, like Tom does, like and we sounded like something dying. And my niece was like 3 years old, and she says, Joleen, I sound just like the movie. And I said, yeah, you do. And my husband goes, why are you telling her that? She doesn't sound like the movie. And I said, none of us sound like the movie, but you don't crush a child's dream. But you know who you do? You know what dream you do crush? A 66-year-old man's dream. Tom Sandoval is 66 years old, allegedly. Everything I say is true, except for the parts that are false, okay? You definitely crush their dreams. But when you have a 3-year-old niece who calls you Joleen, you say, you do sound just like the movie, Woosie. You do. All right. Now, Tom's mom might have taken, I don't want to blame her. It's not necessarily her fault. We don't want to always blame women because Tom loves blaming a woman. But this would be the time Tom's dad, who allegedly, he said, my dad's 65, and he's got 2 roommates. Well, is it an adult care facility? 65, 2 roommates. Okay. I don't know. Listen. It's going to sound really judgmental, but that seems a little sus, right? A roommate. Okay. Sure. Roommates is 65? Oh, yes. I'm so sorry, Leslie. He's 89. Tom is 89 years old. Okay. And Tom was like, because the Toms were talking about wanting to invest in property together. Just get married already, weirdos. Just do it. Just make each other miserable. Stop making women miserable and just make each other miserable. That's what you both deserve. And Lisa Vanderpump's like, no, you're too old to live together. You should have your own home. And Tom's like, no, my dad's 88 and he's got 4 roommates. Yeah. Chad, Dad, Brad, Lad, Sad, and Cad. Yep. I don't know if that's 6, but yeah, they all live together. They sleep on boxes of Coors Light. What? I'm just saying, Tom Sandoval's dad, something's going on there, right? Something's going on there. That's just what I'm picking up, all right? Because I got a dad, a roommate. Okay. But roommates, it's interesting, to say the least. But there we have it. Tom's out there like, yes, I'm I'm a singer. I can sing. And you're like, but you can't. But you can't. You should definitely have paid your mom back. You cannot finance your midlife crisis on your mother's retirement. Mm-hmm. Oh, Excelisium. Excelisium. I like your name. Excelisium. Okay, I don't know. I can't speak English today, but is saying Excel says his dad has to have a roommate because he gave him all of his pension money to start Sharts and Skeezies. How could I miss that? That's really the truth. That's the tea. You want the tea? That's the tea. Sandy Butt's dad was like, Tom, sir, I can't. I downsized to a tiny home. And Tom's like, come on, Dada. I'm going to be a star. Seriously. You're being such a bitch. And his dad's like, okay, fine. I'll move in with some of my sad dad friends and we'll be roommate. Okay, give me more money. That makes more sense. Melissa, thank you for the super chat. Melissa says, I have 2 little boys, but when they got to be 57, when they get to be 57 years old is when you have to have the hard conversations. That's the time you have to have the hard conversations. You know, maybe even up to 30, you can let them believe anything's possible. But then there comes a point where, you got to have a retirement of your own because you ain't taking mine. All right. Because as we get older, what I'm learning from my husband now transitioning to work in the healthcare industry, whoa, you need a lot of money to get older. And just staying alive is very expensive, Tom. And so your parents, they need that money for themselves because they worked. It's called a job. Say it with me. Job. It's a job. Job. Just job. I don't know. Yes, 57 years old is when you have to have the hard conversations. Until then, yes, baby, you sound just like the movie Into the Unknown, Into the Unknown. In this economy, you need to get a job, sir. You need to get a job. I'm telling you, I always advocate for Trader Joseph's, but I love a Trader Joe's, And for some reason, let me know if there's anyone that works at Trader Joe's here, but Trader Joe's, people always seem so happy. I don't know what, maybe they give them laughing gas before their shifts, but people are so pleasant. I honestly, I don't think I've ever ran into a rude Trader Joe's employee. No. I mean, they get to wear like luau shirts and stuff. They always seem very happy. I mean, I don't want to do that to Trader Joe's and have them have to deal with Tom Sandoval, but yeah. Oh, maybe they're huff and patchouli. I don't know. But either way, I always have such a pleasant experience at Trader Joe's. Such a pleasant. Katie says, oh, you used to work there. Okay, we got to be happy. Okay, did they like threaten you? Because that would make sense because people are very happy. They're like, oh, you trying that? Yeah. I'm like, yes, I'm this entire vanilla sheet cake. You're about to close in 15 minutes. This is what I need. Is it just that? Yep. It's pretty good. I had it. Yep. I'm about to eat the whole thing in my car. So whether it's good or not, I'm going to finish it. And they're like, that's awesome. Yeah. The stuff here is so good. I'm like, right? It is. They're very, very happy. And the lines move fast. I always start bagging because I don't want to just be so presumptuous to be like, oh, bag my groceries. I'm not a Tom Sandoval. You're already doing so much, but then they always have another nice person who's just not eating mini sheet cakes alone in their car at 9:30 p.m. on a Saturday, who's just coming over and being like, can I bag that for you, miss? And I'm like, did you just call me miss? I've been a ma'am for so long now that miss is just, yes, you can help me bag that. It's just very nice. It's very, very nice. HC says, Trader Joe's, I just get snacks there. I try not to, but I love it. Oh my gosh. Tina Louise, thank you. Love me some Jolene in the evening. Chris, yes, Chris says, I bag my own groceries too. I feel guilty. I don't know if it's like the Midwestern Minnesota person in me, but I'm like, no, God, no, let me do it. And they're like, no, I got it. And I'm like, oh, this is so sweet. So that would be an actual job that Tom would have to have. But ultimately my point was comparing Ariana and Katie's situation and working partnership to Tom Sandoval and Tom Schwartz is such a slap in the face that they continue to slap these women in the face with this season. No. Ariana got the opportunity to go to Broadway. All right. That's very different. These are things that she has worked for her whole life. She is a theater major. She was in acting school. She took improv. You guys know how seriously she takes comedy. This is a big opportunity. And Katie, in Katie's heart of hearts, she's very happy for her. Now that takes me to, we're kind of jumping around, but let's just, okay. That takes me to Katie allegedly saying to Lala, venting. Oh my God, you guys, what a monster. Katie Maloney, what a monster. How dare she vent to one of her friends about maybe a day or so of frustration about another friend or life in general, because she doesn't want to bog that friend being Ariana down with more bullshit. And she's still trying to decide in her head, is it just her insecurities? Katie was still like trying to process, is this just me being insecure? Is this me with my like imposter syndrome that she's talked about? She was posting about, I believe, on her Instagram. We have a picture I can pull up here. So she thought she could trust Lala and just talk to her, which shout out to Care Bear, one of my mods and a fantastic person. She pointed out such a good fact is that there is a difference between talking shit about your friend behind their back and venting to another friend. There's a big difference with that. We've all vented about other people in our lives. Maybe something that it's really us also kind of venting about ourselves, which is what Katie was trying to freaking explain. She was like, well, a lot of it's my own insecurities. I don't want to like, she's dealing with a lot. See, what Katie seems to realize that Lala doesn't is that the world doesn't revolve around Katie. Lala is a comparison. She's a comparison bitch, okay? If we're rabies bitches, according to Lala, she's a comparison bitch. She's always comparing everything, and she's always trumping everyone. She's got it worse. She has it harder. So, of course, she's not going to have empathy, and she's still going to attack Ariana and go on the Tom train when all this is going down, because she doesn't care really. She cares about how much screen time she gets, and she cares about the money. But the friendship, as much as she wants to like tell us now, no, I care. I do. I am team bitch. I'm team Ariana. And it's like, what? No, you're not. No, you're not. So with Lala, coming out and being just such a horrendous friend to out Katie in this situation, because Lala's only doing this, you guys, because she didn't get the reaction they tried to create preseason. Preseason, we were hearing all these rumblings. Remember, before the season started, it was like, you guys, oh my God, you're never going to guess. You guys are going to hate Ariana. Oh my God. And we're like, what? What could she have possibly done? Well, just wait. Oh my God, it's so bad. She's horrible. And we're like, what? How could we hate Ariana? Like, you started filming pretty soon after Scandal. We love Ariana. What are you talking about? No, it's horrible. You're totally going to understand. Andy Cohen was like, oh, Brock and Lala, voices of reasons this season. Oh, the voices of reason. And then he had to go on his own show. How embarrassing. Take it back, as people were like, you lied, sir. You're a liar. So they were already trying to build this up. So Lala thought, I'm going to be on the right side of history. The fans are going to love me. I'm going to call this shit out. I'm going to be that bitch. Me and Tupac inside my uterus. Tupac lives in my heart. I got this shit. So she really thought she didn't get the reaction. So now she wants to burn it all down. That's basically what's going on with this situation with Katie. She literally wants to make Katie pay and suffer. She wants to drag other people down with her. She can't stand how she was like, I stand in my shit. I'm that bitch. I'm honest. I own it. Me and Katie get along because we both say it how it is. No, baby girl. No, you only want to say it how it is when it is the popular opinion. When you get even a little pinch of backlash, you're like, these rabies ass bitches. Then all of a sudden you want to turn on us, and we're like, what?
The finale episode of Vanderpump aired last night. Did anyone watch it? Did they show my purge?
I was unaware. I was supposed to be watching Vanderpump.
Don't worry, I didn't watch either.
Okay. We will be watching though, because yes,
that's why I just asked. Do I have to watch this?
No.
Or can I just freeball it when we're talking about it?
No, because I'm not going to talk. I'm not addressing any VPR
Beautiful.
news
Don't wanna
until
watch any
third
so I
part of the reunion, and it's going to be very quick. You guys don't need to weigh in. I don't want questions. I'm going to say my piece. We're going to move on, and I never want to discuss season 11 again. And I hope by that time everyone gets their fucking rabies shots because they're foaming at the mouth. These fucking bitches in these streets on socials. I'm like, yo, Yo.
Amen. Amen. We got
I'm tired.
what?
I said they make me tired. The rabies bitches.
Oh.
Okay, so
Yo, these rabies bitches, how dare people? So she really thought, she was like, oh, okay, people are going to love me. And when that didn't happen, she was like, okay, now I'm going to out everybody. Katie, remember that time we had a conversation? You kind of agreed with what I said. And Katie was like, well, I mean, not really. And then the problem with Lala getting in a fight, he doesn't have a brain, Lisette. I don't think so. He's like, no, I don't think so. I don't think so. Thank you, Pamela. Pamela says, for the super chat, Pamela B says, Tupac is rolling over in his grave. Please stop disrespecting that man. Okay, please. Yo. The problem with Lala going toe to toe with Katie is that Lala doesn't have, no offense, all offense, but she doesn't have the intellectual capacity to hold her own against Katie or Ariana, which is a point that Ariana makes without even having to say that, coming up in, I believe, part 2, is just because you speak the loudest and shout and do all the, she's got to do all the, the gestures and all that, because she lacks at just being able to, intellectually take someone down. So she's got to be finger guns, disengage, ho. Like she has little sayings she's learned on the interwebs. Occasionally she visits urbandictionary.com and then she memorizes a couple things. And then she's like, I got this. So, but Katie and Ariana are people who they're intellectualized. They are people who are in tune with their emotions. They're therapized, if that's a word. They're well into therapy. They are able to point out things about them that are their weaknesses and also their strengths, where Lala just thinks everything's a strength, even her damn weaknesses. Okay. Because she just doesn't have a very high emotional IQ. You just know it. So when Katie and her are going back and forth, I kind of started to be like, oh God, Lala, this is really embarrassing. It's embarrassing for you because Katie, as much as, yes, obviously, Katie did vent to Lala 100%. Did she want Ariana to know that? No, because that's what you do. If you are unsure whether it's a big enough deal for you to talk to a friend about an issue, or if you think it's you might, bounce it off another friend and go, you know what? I know I'm being ridiculous, or maybe am I being insecure, or this is just bothering me today. Maybe I'm on my period. There's lots of things, especially in women's relationships. I feel like I've had a lot of relationships with women, a lot of friendships, and this has been very common, and it's not like she's like, you know what? Ariana sucks on Broadway. She can't even sing. Now that's some shit talking. But no, that wasn't what Katie was doing at all. It was more venting. And she also even said it had more to do with my own insecurities. Katie was emotionally intelligent enough to know that, being in a business is very stressful. She thought she could confide in her friend Lala about it. And she didn't want to have to take that to Ariana because she knows Ariana is already dealing with so much. And, she probably loves her friend and she wants her to feel good, and she just doesn't want to kick her while she's down. All right. And Lala is just like, oh no, bitch, you said, and Katie's like, no. And so as soon as Katie starts dropping some knowledge, I think I have like the audio of that. That's when Lala looks like she's about to cry because she doesn't know what to do. So when you are in a situation like that, where someone like wants to out you or start a fight with you, and they come at you, and then you come back at them with like logic, intellect, just being relatively calm, and they see that they're losing. They see that, oh shit, some of my stuff isn't making sense. Then they'll turn to like become emotional. And that's what it seemed Lala was doing. She was just like, and then she was like, don't do that to me. Don't do that to me, Katie. I don't like that. And it's like, what did Katie do to you? You literally are trying to catch her in a gotcha moment. You're a bad friend. We all talk shit about Ariana. And Katie's like, no, you were mad because I wasn't jumping on the Sandoval train, the Tom train. And then Lala's like, I'm not on the Sandoval. I'm on the Lala. Also, if anyone refers to themselves in that way, like I'm on the Joleen train. That's an issue. That's a problem. So right there, you're like, I don't like that. Chickenhead, thank you for the super chat. Chicken says, Lala is not a girl's girl. Do not say anything to her unless you want it public. Exactly. All of your words, your friendship can be monetized, and it will be weaponized and thrown against you for the almighty dollar. And that's all that she showed. And then she's out here, you guys, going live on her Amazon Live saying, oh yeah, I also have screenshots. You screenshot DMs with your friends? What? The argument will probably be made. I'm sure a lot of people are saying, well, it's okay for Lala to bring this up because this is their life. And she feels like Katie's not being honest. No, Katie's not bailing Lala out. Lala has to stand in her decision to jump on the Sandoval train. She has to stand in the decision she's made. And much like the cast members on the show, a lot of them don't realize that there are consequences for their actions. And there's going to be consequences. If you do a complete 180 and you seem to be very disingenuous and hypocritical, fans are going to call that out. Fans are going to be disappointed in you. And you got to stand in that. You can't pull everyone down with you. Katie's not your mommy. Katie didn't get caught doing that. That was you, ma'am. Even if Katie was behind Ariana's back, whatever she was saying, I actually am thankful that Katie didn't take it onto the show and that her and Ariana could figure it out off the show, because Ariana was already going through so much. And what did Lala want? A complete gang up on Ariana? Was she trying to isolate, as she says, these groomer men do, like Tom Sandoval and Randall Gremlin Emmett? Were you trying to isolate Ariana? Are you a groomer, Lala? Are you a groomer? So it just seemed a little weird. Like, what's your motivation for this? Because if Katie had turned on her, that would have meant everyone on the cast, besides James, was now going against Ariana, the victim of scandal, the person who everyone should be cheering for and who the fans are cheering for, who she's like, I know Ariana is like a fan favorite and you don't touch that shit. I get it, yo. I get it. Okay. But like, I got some balls. So I'm going to say it like the producer Jeremiah wants me to say it. Because allegedly, this whole fight, you guys, there's so much. If we're being like, you got to be truthful with your life, why are we starting a season? Now, we get how reality TV shows work. They're going to talk before a season. Producers are going to want to know kind of what's your storyline? What are you going to talk about this season? Apparently, Lala said that one of the executive producers, Jeremiah was a bullfrog, he was going to get on a phone call with Lala. And he had to have a phone call with Katie too. And she's like, no, that's my bitch. We can do it together. Jeremiah was a bullfrog. Let's do it together. So Katie and Lala were on the phone. Lala tried to throw Katie under the bus to Jeremiah was a bullfrog, the executive producer, on the phone, and be like, Katie, remember when you said this about Ariana? You feel like this about Ariana too. You said that you wish you would have got the love that she got when you and Schwartz's relationship fell apart. And and Katie's like, yeah. And Ariana was like nodding her head like, yeah, anyone would want that. Yeah, Ariana would probably say, I wish Katie would have got that. She deserves it. That is something Ariana would say. And Lala's like, okay, that doesn't mean she begrudges what Ariana got. That just means she's like, wow, it would have been nice if I would have got some love over my breakup. I mean, Sheena thought the same thing. But it wasn't like Katie was going out there and onto the season being like, everyone should be, Ariana's a fake bitch. She's got a huge ego. She brings nothing to the show. She's nobody. Nobody was even talking about her until she got cheated on. That's what you say, Lala. And that's what looks peanut butter and jelly. That's what you do. Katie didn't do that. You can say, just like Sheena, you can say, oh, I really wanted Dancing with the Stars. You just don't say it to that person. You don't say it to Ariana, but you can say it to your other friends like, oh, I'm so happy for her, but I hope I get it one day. You go, oh, okay. I'm so happy you got all this love from the fans about your relationship, I struggled, and I would have loved to have that love, but I'm so happy that you got that love. Okay, cool. So Lala's trying to like paint Katie as what she is, which is a jealous freak. She really is. She's a jealous freak who's terrified to lose her bag because for whatever reason, after being on this show since season 4, she has not solidified a strong enough business for her to maintain at the financial level she's currently at. That's what it comes down to. You know, a lot of people on these shows, they're on these shows for a long time. If you're smart and if you do your job well, I think this can branch off into so many more opportunities of brand deals, investments, other opportunities, acting, so many things, businesses. I mean, most of the housewives have a business, and some of them are even richer now because of the business, you know, make more money in the business than they did housewives because they utilized their time on the housewives to really sell that. Ma'am, you put one saying on a sweatshirt. And it worked. It was great. You got to do a down payment on a home. Awesome. But what else you got? Oh, makeup? Well, why would anyone buy your makeup? Is that what you're known for? You haven't branded yourself properly. And that's bad business on your behalf. That has nothing to do with anyone else. So now, unfortunately, this is why I prefer not to have broke people on these shows because then they're willing to do absolutely anything and throw their friends under the bus. So when I have the whole theory, right? When I watch my like reality competition shows, like Big Brother, I want everyone to be broke as a MFing joke because that is about backstabbing, lying. One person wins. This isn't that. This is an ensemble cast. Well, they backstab and stuff here and there. Sure. But I don't want you to be so broke and so downtrodden by your bad business decisions because you live in labels you can't afford, allegedly, that now you'll just do anything for a buck. That's not a fun story to follow. You know, people aren't going to like that. You know, I think so. Oh yeah. And she has a podcast. Well, don't you have like sponsors? I mean, how much money do you need to make? Maybe you should sit down with like a financial advisor and figure that shit out. Don't come and try to ruin our show, Lala, Tom Sandoval, because you guys are broke, because you haven't been able to leverage your fame into, you know, financial freedom. So frustrating. Okay, let's listen to a little bit of audio of Lala going at Katie. All right.
I feel we're on rocky ground going into the summer. So let's talk about what we saw on camera, okay? Girls' night.
Oh, yeah, to finish that point. So she is on a call with Jeremiah Was a Bullfrog. So they started the season with Katie allegedly very upset with Lala because Lala was trying to get Katie to jump on the Tom Sandoval redemption train and to talk shit about Ariana. And Katie was like, I'm not doing that. And Lala's like, no, that's not what it was. And she's like, yeah, that's what you were doing.
Apply your situation to every situation. You can't overlook that. If we want to apply my situation in the reality, no one's going to like what I have to say. What the fuck kind of threat is that? You're not going to like what I have to say? Then fucking say it. Say it with your whole chest, bitch. Let it go. Excuse me. Do not fucking talk to me like that, bitch. I'm telling you something. Don't put your fingers and don't talk to me like that, bitch. You do not want it with me. My intention was not to make that about me. It was for you to understand that, like, I see you. I want you to know I see you. And you jumped down my throat.
Okay, this is the funny part because Lala's like, her intention at Allie's little party, little girls' night she had, was to let Ariana know that she sees her. No, your intention was to basically be like, oh, I got it worse than everybody. I have it. You don't even know. I got a gremlin as an ex, the custody thing, a kid. You were comparison is the thief of joy. You were comparing your shit. And Katie called you out. Like, that's not helping anybody.
And I'm like, what the fuck is this? The way I was seeing it was, if you can see the situations being similar, which I didn't always see it being that way, then see yourself in her shoes. You are in this place that you are now, looking back with all of the miles behind you. So don't you think she's 5 months into it? I was just like, stop telling people how they should be handling the situation. I was giving her the heads up. He's probably going to go kill kick it with Sandoval. They could be BFFs. This motherfucker was playing pickleball. I had to get over that shit. You know, like I would have paid a lot of money to have someone say, I've been where you are. This is how I dealt with it. This could be beneficial, or throw it out the fucking window. I don't care.
That's not what you're saying.
That is exactly. Am I going insane?
No, and I think to add on to like.
Katie's like, this, we literally watched the episode. That's not what you were saying. And then Lala's like, am I going insane? Yeah, kind of. I think so. Something's happening. I mean, I think it's just like greed and ego and delulu-ness. But you can also tell that she's admitted to projecting a lot of her like Randall trauma and stuff onto this situation, onto others in the group. And she brings up the pickleball, which clearly she's not over. So you would think she would be even more empathetic for Ariana, who's also setting boundaries like, hey, I want this toxic man out of my life. And Lala, you said he was as toxic as Randall. You've said that multiple times. Now you're trying to walk it back because you're soft. But are you really soft? You've just shifted your hardness onto the women. So it's not soft when you've just shifted it onto other people. You're out here ruining friendships for what? It's not even good TV. Like it really isn't. So you haven't softened, you've just shifted. So it's like a shifting era, not a softening era. And clearly you have a lot to process still from this Randall thing, you know? And so do that. But don't come after the women on the show who are on like a true like freaking power to the ladies. The Toms can suck it. They need to be shown for who they are. Don't like stop their journey. Don't put a detour on that just because you're still mad and angry. Process your shit and quit telling. Why is it always the people who, her and Joe, we saw this with Joe recently, Joe Wenberg. I just want to help people. You got to help yourself. You can't help anyone. I can't be out here and be like, I just want to help. If I went to all my friends, I was like, I just want to help you guys. They'd be like, with what? Help yourself. What are you talking about? I just want to help everyone. What are you talking about? No, the ego on you to think that you're going to give something to Ariana. And if you truly, let's say you truly do think you can contribute good information to her, then do that. But I haven't really seen you do that. Thank you, Melissa, for the super chat. Melissa says, how do we get Ariana and Katie to have their own spinoff with something about her? Ugh, I wish. It could happen. It could. Hopefully. Anne's in it. Anne can be in it. That'd be amazing. We could have lots of fun with a show like that. You know, I guess we just have to just keep putting it out. We'll manifest that shit. Okay. We'll all get on our periods at the same time and we will manifest some menstruation dreams.
You have said that you felt like conversations you guys had before the season, that you kind of went back on some of the things you said and how you felt, and you were supporting her and being like, yeah, it would have been nice if people rallied around both of us the way they rallied around Ariana.
Who wouldn't want that? Who wouldn't want that? I talked to her about that. And I was like, yeah, objectively, fuck yeah, I would have loved that fucking support.
I just think when it started, she felt like you were like her enemy. I felt abandoned by you this season.
Yeah.
Wow.
But because I didn't want to like.
That part when Andy goes, wow. So Lala's like, I felt abandoned. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. You feel abandoned. You feel peanut butter and jelly. You know, you jumped on the freaking Sandoval train. It wasn't working for you. You're hating on Ariana. You got some inner jealousy. You think, no, I love her. I ate her cookie. No, what? That was like 6 years ago, and people can still eat people's cookies and be total bitches to them. So that's not the kind of lady support she needs right now. But I love Andy's like, wow.
When it started, she felt like you were like her enemy. I felt abandoned by you this season.
Wow.
But because I didn't want to like, what? Jump on the Tom train or what?
Well, hold up. I didn't jump on the Tom train either.
What
I jumped on Lala's.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about you and I had conversations.
Talk about objectively about the attention to public reaction. That's an objective conversation about the way public was reacting, but the way I personally feel about our friend and the support of all that, like it's two things happening at once.
Katie, I don't like what you're doing right now at all.
So Katie's saying this is very layered and you're trying to just like throw it. You're trying to make these blanket incorrect statements of what I was really venting to you about to make it look like I was on the I hate Ariana train. That's not true. And Katie's making all these points and she's using objective versus subjective. And then Lala's like, Katie, I don't like what you're doing right now. Cause she's got no comeback. She's intellectually outnumbered. She can't do this. She can do this, and she can just start blaming people and go, I'm a mother. And you're like, okay, cool. Thank you. Congratulations. I'm happy. Yay. Good. Awesome. But right there, I don't like what you're doing. And everyone's like, huh? She just shut. That's what people do. People with like these big egos who can't keep up with their lies or in the conversation. They immediately are like, oh, I don't like what you're doing. They get emotional and they're like, no, try to just shut it down.
What's she doing?
She's like, I did talk about that. It's like, no, you didn't talk about it that way. We both had conversations about this. And it was beyond just the support she was getting. It was that she had basically abandoned you in the sandwich shop. This year, last time, you said she wasn't caught up on her rent for the sandwich shop. I'm really...
What are you talking about?
I know what I'm talking about.
We both were paying rent. What are you talking about? We both were paying rent.
Did you ever confide in Lala and complain or bitch about the way you were feeling about Ariana when she left to go do Broadway and didn't give you a heads up?
What did I just say? Well, okay, that was the one time I wish I would have gotten a little bit of a heads up because I didn't find out about the Broadway thing until I was I'm like, okay, that would have been nice to know. The issues I was having was because of my own insecurities.
You and I are truth tellers. We say shit how it is. So why, when the camera goes up, am I suddenly the enemy when I'm talking about the same shit that I was talking about on the phone?
Lala again projecting. She believes now that even though she says she stays out of the comments section, she sure knows what they say. She feels like the enemy to the fan base, and the people that always say, I don't give a fuck, I don't care what you think about me, are the people who care. If you don't care what people think, you never say, I don't care what people think. I'm not going to be up here and be like, I don't care what you guys think, because I kind of do care. If everybody here hates me and I'm horrible, I probably want to figure out what's going on. Like what? Maybe this isn't for me. Maybe this isn't a good occupation choice or something. But I also go into it realistically, knowing that you're not supposed to be for everyone. We're not supposed to be for everyone. There's going to be people who really ride for you and love you when you are, I guess, kind of how Lala is. And there's going to be people who aren't. It is kind of subjective. Any art form is subjective. Anything anyone's doing or any opinions and stuff like that. So for Lala to, she's just like, I don't care. I don't care what these bitches think. These broke, dusty bitches. I don't care what these rabies hoes think. It's like, but you do. Because right now, you're talking about like being hated. It's like, by who? Who? By the fans? Huh? And then again, Katie admits like, yeah, they're both, Sheena and Lala are coming on attack mode at Katie. And Katie's like, yeah, I did vent about the Broadway thing. I did ultimately talk to Ariana, and I wish I would have known that she was going to Broadway. I do. But we talked about it off camera because I don't need to throw more of this shit on her since you guys are coming at her so hard. And the Toms are still always a united front, freaking trying to throw all the women under the bus. So yeah. And it had more to do with, because Katie has self-awareness. So she's like, it had more to do with my own insecurities. And again, those are the times you need your girlfriends, and you can like bounce that off them. A good girlfriend will be like, you know what? Yeah, you are kind of, I think it is, your own insecurities, and that's okay. That's totally normal and healthy, but I would just, process that, and don't, you don't want to go ruining a friendship because of your insecurities. Like she just is checking in with her friend. And the fact that Lala is just such a breach of girl code. It's such a breach of good friendships that she would use this to throw it in Katie's face, that she would start the season setting her up with executive producer Jeremiah was a bullfrog, and she would end the season setting her up with these screenshots and DMs and these private conversations they allegedly had that I 100% think Lala is embellishing on, for sure, for effect and to bring Katie down, because Lala is not strong enough or equipped to really be a villain. She just isn't. There are some people like Johnny Bananas, for example. That MFer, he has leaned into his villainness and he don't care. He's cashing them checks. He doesn't care. He can be a villain. There are some reality stars who will do that. it's not for everybody. And as much as Lala's like, I don't give a fuck, I'm Lauren from Utah, boom. No, you're too sensitive, and that's okay. But you care. You really care. But the shitty thing is you're willing to drag your friend down because you're not happy with the way your season went, to the point where you don't even want to talk about the show anymore. But you were on I hate Ariana. She's got the biggest ego. She sucks. She never brought anything to the show till she was cheated on. She shoved Sandoval down our throat. Like, these are things she said. Lala has said, you were on this tour through most of the season, hoping that this next episode, they're going to get me. This next episode, they're going to get me. And most of us were like, no, it still doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Now, Lala does still have her diehard fans. There are people, I've heard people say, I know, even when she's problematic, I love her. So there are still people out there, Lala. There's no need to throw Katie under the bus. Maybe just like check yourself. Or lean into you're a villain. You're a villain, bro.
Making you the fucking
You
enemy.
think she was different on camera than off camera?
I think there were a few people
Thanks, Ashley.
sitting up here that were living in the comment section all the live long season.
And that's Katie.
Katie's one of them, yes.
Who else?
I think Sheena lived in the comment section.
And you think that they
I think James may have been in the comment
and
section
you
a little
think
bit.
Sheena, did you hear that? Did you hear how quickly Lala threw you under the bus? And Sheena, she's like, yeah. When she says live in the comment section, she says she means pandering to the audience. She's like, I think there were many people who were pandering to the audience. And thank you, Ashley Lynn, for those sweet words. I appreciate that. Lala, girl, you've been reading. You all live in the comment section. Every person on reality TV is reading their comments. Maybe not to the extent Sheena is. Sheena has actually been like, yeah, we saw her on the show living in the comment section, but she's blaming everyone. She's saying you're pandering to the audience, and I'm the only badass bitch who's willing to stand in my truth. Your truth is Jeremiah was a bullfrog's truth, allegedly, the executive producer. And is it it's your truth that you listen to the producers, I think, and they said this would be a good route for you to take. And you were like, good, because deep down you were like, I hate that Ariana's getting all this shit. I had the Randall scandal, ho. Nobody cared about the Randall scandal. She's still very upset that nobody cared about the Randall scandal the way we did Scandal. Again, we saw that coming a mile away. When we looked at Randall, we looked at that baby gremlin man and we were like, ew. When we saw Pickleball Randall, most of us were like, And we knew that was never love. It was a transactional relationship. You're the young, beautiful one. He's the older, yucky guy that had money. Unfortunately, he didn't really have the money like that, and he cheated on you. Okay? We weren't invested. Sorry. No offense, all offense. We just weren't. So it fit for her to go down this route, and she tried to get Katie on board, and Katie's like, no, I'm going to have some integrity, because you have to remember, it's not just that Katie's like, I'm going to stand up for all women. I mean, I think Katie is, at a point in her life where she's, especially on this show, where she's very pro-woman. But I think she also is like, fuck these Toms. Schwartz screwed me over, and Sandoval's been horrible to me. So why the frick would I hop on a Tom train? They've been horrible to you too, Lala, but clearly, you can be bought. But Katie's like, I want to see the truth come out about the Toms. I want the Toms to go down. I want them to have to face consequences. I'm not going to coddle toxic men. If you want to do that, which kind of is what got you in the situation with Randall in the first place, you do that. But again, you have to sit with the consequences of your action, blah, blah. You have to. It's just crazy to me. This last part was just, crazy.
How are you going to throw me in that? As a result of seeing how the viewers were reacting to them?
Well, it's no secret that Ariana is a fan favorite, right? You don't fuck around with that. I came to you because I didn't want to go to her with the fucking the drama. I didn't want to guilt her. So I went to one of my other friends to vent about it. But if you're not someone I can confide in with that shit, then I'll go to somebody else. I didn't want to take it to her. Katie, we had a phone call and you lost your mind on me. Yeah, because you wanted me to throw her under the bus and talk about how mad I was about it. And I was like, I wanted to film a show that we've been filming you guys 11 years. And I was like, suddenly the name of the game is different. I feel like I've shown up.
You wanted her to be the same person on camera as you felt she was off camera.
I want to play the same game that we've been playing. At 11 years, you're in the same.
Love Katie or hate Katie, she's the same person. Like, you literally, you feel that energy. Katie Maloney has never come across put on. There have been seasons where she's done and said stuff where I was like, oh, I wouldn't have done that. And she's like, yeah, that's what I did. And so no, I think it's projection. It is all the things that Lala's mad about. She's really mad at herself, but she can't go there with herself. She can't. It would be she would have to peel back. There's just a lot of work Lala still has to do, in my humble opinion. Because this is cuckoo. This is cuckoo crazy. And maybe she should look at how often she's in and out of friendships. Granted, it is a reality show, but this is a pattern now for you. This is like Ariana said, this is who this person is. This is a pattern of behavior. So you might want to just look at that, girl. Look at it.
The game is different. I feel like
you wanted her to be the same person on camera as you felt she was off camera.
I want to play the same game that we've been playing.
At 11 years, I've been the same fucking person the entire time.
You lost your mind. You said to me, I'm not going to say these things because I've invested a lot of money in this sandwich shop. And you said to me, if you're going to fuck with my business, Lala, I'm going to fuck with yours. And honest to God, I wanted to say to you, something about her is really nothing about her right now. You don't got a business, and mine is my livelihood that I support my child on. So how dare you threaten to fuck with it?
And she's going to start crying again. Ugh, so annoying. So this, we see on the after show this week that this is something she said months ago. So she came with a script, you guys, because the after show was filmed obviously before the reunion. They're recapping all the episodes. And there's Lala, because something about her, it ain't nothing about her. Okay. And then James is like, haha. And then she brings it back. And Christina Coca did a super funny short. Make sure you're following her on Instagram and subbing to her on YouTube, where it was Lala saying it on the after show and then on the reunion. And then I don't know what movie it's from, but it's the guy who plays Ant-Man. What's his name? He's like in everything, practicing his lines in the mirror. And she's like, Lala practicing her lines. She's like, you ain't got something about her, because something about her is really nothing about her. Like, okay, Lala. Mm-hmm. Wow, good one. That was so clever to go after your friend's business. You're so pro women. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And what is Lala's business? Is it the sweatshirts? Because something about her sold, what did they sell? 100,000 or more in merch of a business that wasn't even open? Paul Rudd. Thank you, Nicole. So that would technically Katie's in the same business as you, sayings on sweatshirts. And she has a podcast. So podcast and sayings on sweatshirts. Sweatshirt sayings, podcasts. So, but again, she's gonna, she starts this conversation saying, Katie talked about, and she brought up my custody battle, ho. And Katie's like, I don't think I ever brought up her custody battle. And apparently Katie said, you need to get rid of your lawyers and get a therapist. You're a clown. That's how this all, that's a DM that they were discussing early in this conversation on the reunion. How does that have anything to do with your custody battle? You could have lawyers for lots of stuff. I imagine you all have lawyers. I mean, shit, I'm not even famous and I have an entertainment lawyer. Like, I don't, everyone, you should have a lawyer for your contracts and things. Like, what are you talking about? Any management company she has, agents. So that's you unless Katie said your custody, you should drop the lawyers for your custody battle about your daughter and get a therapist. You can't prove, I don't know, bring it to Emily D. Baker, but I don't think you can prove that she was talking about your custody. That's you weaponizing this for sympathy and to make Katie look worse. Now, I do believe Katie said you were a clown. That is something Katie would say. And I do agree with her. You're acting like a clown. And I do believe she said you need therapy, because Katie goes, I think everyone needs therapy. And I think you need therapy too. I really do. I think there's just, it's not coming off good, Lala. It's not. And despite, whatever's happening, you can turn this train around for your own good. I'm sure not everyone will jump back on the Lala bus, but you could get some help with this, because clearly there's a lot of unprocessed things. And I think you like to hide behind the like, I know everything, you know? I'm so self-actualized, and you're very judgmental of people's sobriety. You've been like that for a while because if it doesn't work for you, then it's wrong. And we've seen this for a while. When you were with Rand, you thought you were better than everyone because you thought he had money and you talked down to people. So this is an ongoing pattern of yours, unfortunately. And it's not that fun to watch. I thought you broke it. I really did. I thought once you left Rand and you're still sober, as a fellow sober girl myself, I was like, hell yeah, girl, get it. And then I'm like, oh, we're still very not self-aware. We're still all about the ego is very strong. Is very strong. Susie Q, thank you for the super chat. Susie Q says, Katie is not standing up for women by preaching or grandstanding, just setting an example with her own actions. Thank you. Because you don't have to. Literally what Katie's doing by being a friend to Ariana, and being in business with her and not throwing her under the bus, is showing through actions rather than saying it, where Lala will be like, I'm that bitch. I love other bitches, but you don't unless they agree with you. Otherwise, they're rabies bitches. You and your white boy dreads brother are like calling everybody rabies bitches who doesn't agree with you. Huh? Well, that's not going to make you many friends, as my mom would say. No one's going to want to sit by you at lunch with the mouth like that. Nana would say, you better clean that up. Liz Walker, thank you for the super chat. They gave Katie hell last year. Now this from Lala, right? It's too much. Kate, thank you for the super chat. Kate says, why does Andy also seem to be teaming up against Katie and Ariana and saying Brock and Lala were the voices of reason? Because I honestly, Kate, I said this last night and I'm going to say it again. And I don't want, I watch so much reality TV and a lot of competition reality TV like Big Brother. And I always say this every season. Whenever a woman's alliance, don't say it loud. Whenever a woman's alliance is brought up on the reality competition series, like Big Brother or something, people freak out. They're always like, oh, the women might be working together. And I believe that we are like conditioned in society to make women competitive with one another. Because if we got together and we really worked together, this shit would look so different. And it terrifies the men. Not all the men, okay, hashtag not all men. But it might terrify even some of you. It might even terrify some of us because of internalized misogyny. The patriarchy is alive and well without women leading and working together. That's why we all have all these pick-me's and we have these, work situations where women will throw other women under the bus and like they make, it's that whole pick-me thing where it's like you want to be the cool girl, where men consciously or subconsciously will make you feel special, as if you've entered into the man club and there can only be one vagina here, so you're it. Okay, I've dealt with this in stand-up comedy forever. It's a male-dominated art form, and just wanting to like run shows or produce shows with other women. I literally was told early in my stand-up career, well, if you include other women and introduce other women in this comedy club that you work at regularly, they could take your spot. And I'm like, what are you talking about? There's only one spot for women? Because I see a lot of men performing here. And I'm like, no, fuck that. When I started comedy in Arizona, I would perform at the Tempe Improv all the time. I love the Tempe Improv. It was like my home club. And one of the producers there, I said, I want to give some of the other women in Arizona, I want to do like a woman themed show. And he said, well, I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't do that because they could see them and then you lose your spot. And I'm like, but there's like, because at the time I was one of the only women performing there regularly as an opener or a feature and occasional headliner. And I'm thinking, there are all these dudes performing here, but there can only be one chick. And that's what I get from this. It's if we team up, why do you think they burn the witches? Like they're terrified of us. They're terrified of us working together. So when you see Katie and Ariana, this is just you don't have to believe me. Maybe I'm kidding. I'm kidding, patriarchy. But when you go against that and you staunchly like stand so pro another woman and you're a strong team and society and fans are responding to you, and Ariana is like, I mean, she's like a brand now and making real money moves. And these two together, powerhouses, it terrifies. Whether Andy Cohen knows this consciously or subconsciously, it terrifies him. Now, if the other women would just jump on board and be like, fuck yeah, let's ride this uterus success train all the way to the labia, it would be so much better. But they don't, because they've fallen into the pick-me's. They got a case of the pick-me's. And I hate it. I hate that for us. But I mean, we see Andy. Andy, he likes a toxic dude. Andy is of that generation too. I mean, what is he, like a Gen Xer, I think? Like an older Gen Xer. So not that all Gen Xers or anyone is all that way, but it explains a little bit of Lisa Vanderpump's very antiquated, idea of like, oh, Andy, Lala can't have sex. She's pregnant. Who's going to tell her that the vagina still works? In pregnancy, it does. It's unfortunate that that's the case, but I kind of believe that. There is such a fear, whether men will admit it or not, and some women, of women teaming up and like riding for each other the way men ride for each other. Because men will take each other with them. So when you see a woman doing this, applaud her. Because it's kind of like, not to compare it to comedy again, but it's like the Adam Sandler effect. He grabbed all of his friends, all of his guy friends, and he was like, I want them to succeed. So he put them in all his movies. As he rose, they rose too. People talk about that. And Amy Schumer, love her or hate her, she did something similar, and that needs to be applauded. She gave a lot of her female friends opportunities in the business. And that's something I hope that we see more of, as like my little niece's generation comes up. And I do think this next generation, I mean, I hope they don't get jaded as my generation did, but I would love to see them work together. And I would love to see that kind of be the norm and break these like, weird societal norms that really aren't working for women. But there is, I see it everywhere. I see it in the comment section. Even if I bring up feminism, people think somehow being a feminist means you hate men, or it's like, what? But, and they're scared of that because they're like, no. And you always got to have the male apologist. Oh, guys yes, I know. I like men. I married one. Okay. But that doesn't mean I still can't fight for my fellow ladies. I still can't, spread the good word. No, I love it. My husband's great. Okay. What are you talking about? But LVP's a boomer, but she definitely has that kind of that old school view where she's like, oh no, Lala, I think the vagina denies the penis once it's, I don't know, Ken and I had sex once for Pandora, and then I just let him kind of rub his ween up against me here and there. I don't even know if there was insertion, darling. I was drinking tea and thinking about dogs. No. But the fact that she kept saying that during the reunion, I'm like, what? And Andy's like, you can have sex. She's like, oh, but she's pregnant. And she goes, oh, they probably want to shoot up the club because she can't get pregnant. I'm like, Alyssa, thank you so much for the super chat. Alyssa says, why no one talks about Ariana, or why no one talks about Ariana gets part in Lifetime movie. Then Raquel and Tom start hooking up, and Lala saying best thing that ever happened to Ariana was the affair. Why no one talks about Ariana gets part in Lifetime movie. Then Raquel and Tom start hooking up, and Lala saying best thing that ever happened to Ariana was the affair. Oh, maybe I'm reading that wrong, Alyssa, or Lisa, but I'm kind of confused. And that's no shade. It could just be my reading comprehension right now. Samantha Stevens, thank you for the super chat, says, new show idea, Narcissist Island, the Toms, Lala, Brock, Andy, LVP, all stuck on an island, and no one cares. Oh, and they have to read and they constantly is projected. There's a big projector there that they can't tear down with all of the negative comments about them. That would be awesome. That would be amazing. So this part of the reunion, I was just like, and I know we kind of jumped around. So let's get to one of the most interesting things that was said is the conversation of grooming. Okay. Lisa talks about, oh, Rachel Raquel, yes. Oh, she was on that podcast saying horrible things that I was like a victim blamer or a shamer or something. And Tom's like, oh, you listen to that, Lisa? And she's like, oh, darling, a little bit. I listened to it, but it's, I don't know. And Tom's like, it's unfair that she would say that I was a groomer because she's not a kid. And that grooming kind of makes it seem or means that I am a pedo. And Lala goes, no, it doesn't. And Tom goes, yes, it does. And they have a no, it doesn't, yes, it does. Because what would Tom Sandoval be without a no, you are back and forth with someone. Okay. And I do kind of love when people indulge him and do it back to him. Like he's a 6-year-old. But as Lala's like, it doesn't mean that, Tom. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Yes, it does. No, it doesn't. I'm just like, Lala, she knows he's an idiot. That's the thing. She's cognizant of this. She knows he's an idiot. And it's like you put all your eggs in that basket, in that brainless basket. And then she's like, no, it can even signify like a power dynamic being off. You're older, you're on the show longer, you got more money than her. It's a shift in power dynamics, similar to Randall and Lala. He's older, he seemingly has money. So sure, But then Tom's like, oh yeah, well, she groomed me pretty good when she got naked and jumped in my pool.
Guess what? I was very impressionable when she took all her clothes off and jumped in my pool.
That's so freaking gross and stupid. But the fact that Sandoval is like, oh, it means she's impressionable? Okay, well, I was pretty impressionable. We took our clothes out and jumped in my pool. Why is anybody caping for this man? And I know last live there was some confusion of whether I was saying capping. No, but I mean like caping. Like, why are they trying to be Superman? Save this person who does not deserve saving. Let this man sink like the Titanic he is. Let him sink, baby. Let him sink. And everyone's just like, is he unfireable? Is he a Nepo baby? Did Bravo borrow money from his mom too? Why can't he get fired? This is not fun to watch. I feel like there's something wrong with him. Like his brain, the elevator's not going to the top of the floor, right? Evelyn says, yep, Rachel groomed Tom, according to Tom. Yep, poor Tom. I just feel so bad. Tom was so groomed by her tits. Her tits groomed her. Her wet, naked tits. There's nothing like Lisa Vanderpump said, oh, he had this, Tom and Ariana, they weren't doing the sex and this beauty queen popped up. He couldn't resist himself. It's like, no, Lisa, that's a really bad take. But yeah, Tom was very, he's only 81 years old. Tom Sandoval is an 81-year-old man. He's very impressionable at that age. Elisa says, sorry, Ariana got a part in a Lifetime movie, Buying Back My Daughter. I don't know. Did that movie come out? I'll be honest, I'm not up to date on my Lifetime movies. But I do remember when she got the Lifetime movie. And that was like right after Scandal broke, right? Yeah, sir, you are 72 years old. The only thing now is you making a bad impression everywhere you go. But I mean, Dan Cave says, Sandoval simply gave us exactly what we created for the last 10 years. Are you not entertained? Not really. I'll be honest. Like, I'm laughing to stop the tears. There's something to be said when you're in your 20s and you're this stupid. But when you're a senior citizen and you're collecting your Social Security and you're this stupid, it's a wrap. Like, this man is lucky he is still on the show, because he continues to have horrible takes. Okay. Including this, now everyone must feel bad for him and his mental health crisis. However, he's weaponized Ariana's mental health crisis. Sheena had a whole conversation with him this past season and was like, shh, Tom, shh. Don't say anything. Just try to maybe be apologetic that you outed something very serious that you alleged that Ariana wanted to unalive herself. And that's why you didn't break up with her. So you weaponized that as an excuse for why you couldn't just man up and break up with her and you had to keep sticking your dick in Rachel Raquel. So you use that against her. And Tom's like, okay, I'll think about it. And then we get to the reunion and he still doesn't get it. But now he's like, guess what, guys? I was going to hurt myself too. I was going to hurt myself. I was really going to hurt myself. But then tells us, brings the Ariana situation up again, and asks, I just don't understand how I was weaponizing her mental health. It's just, at this point, you can't teach a dead dog new tricks. And he's dead. Like he's not old. He's like, he's a zombie. I don't know. So brainless zombie at this point. And then he says his original thing, which he said on the show last season, and he said on the Howie Mandel interview, the now infamous Howie Mandel interview, that Ariana just wouldn't let me break up with her because she was going to unalive herself, and I was terrified. But then he says, oh, but I didn't believe her. What? Wait a minute. So we have to believe you that you're not weaponizing your mental health, because now we've seen you weaponize Ariana's mental health. We've seen you weaponize Rachel Raquel's mental health. We see that you have a total disregard for mental health, because when Rachel Raquel was in a facility getting help, and she said she was getting help for her mental, you were allegedly, according to Rachel, her publicist, even yourself, telling her to leave because I can't do this all by myself. You're going to leave me out here by myself, when she's trying to get help for herself. Whether you like Rachel or not, at least she did something. She didn't go on tour with a karaoke band when she couldn't sing. And he was trying to talk her out of mental health. And when she wanted to stay longer to get better and keep working on herself, he was like, no, But now we're supposed to feel bad for you. And we can't question whether you're doing this as a way to get back in the friend group. We can't question, otherwise we're bad people, if you are doing this and you're trying to manipulate Lisa Vanderpump because she had the tragic loss of her brother who took his own life. So you use that when you were yelling at her. You remember when he was yelling at her? He was like, no,
Have some remorse. Have some sensitivity.
I am. And he was like, I wanted to kill myself. And then she was like, oh, Tom, which was horrific to say to Lisa, who, again, had such a horrible loss. And this is nothing to play with. Tom Sandoval, he don't care. He doesn't care about anyone's mental health. He is going to say what he needs to say to get out of these situations. The guy is allergic to accountability. He's like, oh, he gets hives. He's itching all over the place. So now that we know, again, I talked about this yesterday. Now that we know he didn't believe Ariana, and if Ariana has been very open and honest about depression, she said on the show, that she had these feelings seasons ago of wanting to, drive off or take her own life, and if she did in fact say that to you, Tom, that's not something you should use or put out there. Ariana, that's her story to tell. No one should be talking about their significant other's mental health, and especially using it as an excuse for their own bad behavior. And then you're saying that you don't believe her. Okay, cool. Then I don't believe you. There's two
things happening here. She confided in you. You put it out on camera. Bottom line is,
because I didn't believe it. That's why.
But now you know how it feels to have those types of thoughts and have people say, I don't believe it.
And just there were 4 other things said that weren't.
It doesn't matter. You've got.
I mean, the fact is, yeah, but I didn't believe it. Yeah, but, and even Lala's trying. It's like, Lala, you picked the wrong horse. You bet on the wrong horse. You hitched your wagon to the wrong horse. Whatever the saying is, whatever the cliche is, yeah, that's what you did. Even Lala's trying to explain to him, which makes it even worse because there are moments where Lala has a lot of clarity, and says things where I'm like, girl, you could be doing so much better, but you choose not to. You're not up to the Katie Ariana level like we talked about, but you could be doing so much better. And so she's trying to tell him no. So now you think you would have empathy Now that you're in that situation and you say, and then people didn't believe you, and he's like, no, it's not me.
Have some remorse. Have some sensitivity.
I am fully on board with this narcissist diagnosis. Like, I'm normally not like, let's diagnose people on the internet, but this seems like our clinical case study. And now I know Dr. Drew was on his podcast and said he wasn't, but I don't really trust Dr. Drew. But I have seen other therapists on YouTube commenting on him. So I fully am on board. Irene says narcissists don't take their own lives. They're in love. They are in love with for life. Oh, they're in love for life with themselves. To death do himself part. Yeah, seriously. It's like, this is sociopathic. How can, and he doesn't mask it. So a lot of people say that Schwartz is a covert narcissist, and then like Sandoval will be like a blatant narcissist. So I guess if you're gonna have your pick a narcissist, you would prefer one that you can see coming, I guess. Where Schwartz and even Jax is when they are. I think we now see what they're doing, but they have they thought they mastered the art of faking kind of empathy or care, or faking owning up to it. Like, yeah, it's horrible. I'm a horrible person. Yeah, I mean, I shouldn't have done that. Where Tom Sandoval can't even do that. Like, he literally is just like, no, it's not. Because they're like, Tom, can you see how, Andy's like, can you see how you have how you've kind of made this mess for yourself, and you get yourself in these, you kind of say sorry, because he's like, do you think, he asks Lisa if she thinks Tom has shown true contrition, if he's truly sorry, remorseful. Lisa's like, oh yes, darling, I think he does, but then he kind of goes back, and Tom's like, no, Tom is like, I know, I didn't say but, and then it's like, Tom, you're your, I mean, I would say your own worst enemy. I guess you are, but you love yourself, you hug yourself, and you're proud of yourself. But you definitely, I haven't seen on the episodes, you show true remorse, because you do always, even if there's like a glimpse and you're like, oh my God, maybe he gets it. The next episode, an hour later, a sentence later, you're off blaming somebody else, blaming a woman. There's a reason, all these things. So no. I don't see it. I don't think a lot of people have seen it. Mallory V says Jax has gotten so lazy and worn out by his own antics. He's gotten really lazy. But him and Schwartz have always been better at faking, feigning that they are self-aware. I know I'm a horrible person. And yeah, where Tom Sandoval really believes he is the truth. He believes that he's the narrator of the show. He's on the right. And the editors in the Peacock version, I loved when they came back at him with, he's like, but I don't go after people and what they're doing. That's not what and it's like, sir, you have been all up in people's business season after season. You made other people's business and mistakes your storyline. You were so judgmental. Stassi talks about this on the Call Her Daddy podcast. She says, I would ask my producers, why does Tom Sandoval get this pristine edit? He's horrible. And he just projects onto everybody, and he uses everybody else's flaws to like make himself look better. He rages out, but he gets this great edit. And she says, I never understood it because he's a monster. And Sandoval showed us what a monster he is. But then we go into the new season, and Jeremiah was a bullfrog, and Alex Baskin-Robbins allegedly, and the network, I guess, and the production company wanted to take this in a direction of a Tom Sandoval redemption arc, which I've watched so many Bravo shows, and there are so many seasons where there is someone on the outs of a friend group trying to get back in. This show, Vanderpump Rules, had that with Stassi. She wasn't just welcomed back in when she wronged people and took off. Kristen, she wasn't just welcomed back in. But for some reason, Tom couldn't, not even an episode. The only episode that we were it was like the boundaries of him being outside the friend group was the one where he was filming the army show and taking dumps outside while crying. So it's just like, it's tiring. And that's why I think that I honestly think if you want to save Vanderpump Rules, you have to get rid of the Toms, but preferably, definitely Sandoval. You have to get rid of Sandoval. He's not entertaining to watch anymore. If anything, he's just triggering. He's not a fun villain. He's just an asshole. There's not one redeeming quality left in this man. And he keeps showing us that over and over again. He just wants to be a cis male and yell at women, you guys, but he can't do that. If he was a gay man, he could do it. If he was a woman, he can do it, but he's a cis, so he can't. He's already told us this.
The new thing is that, as a cis male,
Did you say cis?
raise your voice, yell, do whatever you feel entitled to do, but as a straight male, if I was a woman, I could do that. If I was a gay male, I could do that, but as a straight male, if I raise my voice, it's wrong.
Yes, definitely. Thank you, Endub. Hit the like if you haven't already. 423 likes. And we got 1,043 in the live chat. Thank you for joining, you guys. And I do agree. Like, Schwartz is just as bad, honestly. I think what we're going to see part 2 with him and Joe is going to be like, ugh, and then we're going to, oh my God, it's going to be so horrible, you guys. We have to watch Joe act like a victim. And then Katie's going to apologize. We'll save that for part 2. But oh my goodness, I'm just like, I don't think I'm ready for that. No, these people in their victim tours, I can't. Janine says, I think the show is done. We'll see. I mean, obviously they're picking cameras back up for the Valley here when they normally would pick cameras back up for Vanderpump Rules. And I think they're going to figure out what is going on with that. I would be surprised if Ariana comes back. I also think Ariana I wish it was a better environment for her to come back. And I don't think she should be pushed out of the show the same way that she was kind of, Tom Sandoval was trying to push her out of her house and everyone was like, how could you still live there? But again, it's never going directly to the source of the problem. The cast could have went, Tom, leave the house. Even Lisa Vanderpump, despite, I wish she would have said that throughout the season and kept saying it to him, like, leave the house, get an Airbnb. If you got it like that and you're balling out, you got mom's retirement, you can pay all these guitarists and stuff, maybe don't go on the road for your karaoke band and get an Airbnb and separate from Ariana. If people would have pushed more on that, or if people would have pushed more against him, the real problem, than pushing against Ariana, I think that this was the decline of the show. Isn't that Ariana wouldn't film with him? She filmed with him. She filmed group scenes with him, and they had a one-on-one directly after Sandoval. What more is there, or Scandoval came out? What more is there to say? Why would she forgive him? Would you? I mean, if that was your partner, would you? That is, if we're reality and we want to be real, like Lala says, there's nothing real. Anyone who's been treated like that would not meet up and have the conversation. No. Especially this soon, if ever. It's just crazy that they chose to vilify Ariana in the situation and say, why didn't you leave the house? Why don't you film with him? Instead of just holding Sandoval accountable and saying, you know what, you're probably not going to be welcome back into this friend group right away, if ever. And you did that. Because again, this isn't just one thing. This is what Katie has been saying all season. These are actions, repeated actions over and over and over for months and months and months. And Tom wanted us to believe, remember how hard him and Rachel Raquel last reunion were pushing on it was one time. And James was like, why does he keep saying one time? Why does he keep saying one time? It was one time. And then Rachel Raquel breaks down on part 3, 6 days after filming of the reunion, and says, no, it was all the times. It was because it's hard to tell someone that you're having sex with their significant other in their house, in their bed, when they're gone, mourning the death of a family member. And we're like, that, I just rewatched that and I was like, the fact that anyone is taken up for this man and he still doesn't get it. That last Rachel Raquel interview, and it was everything that Lala had said about him isolating her and all that. Like, he could tell his friends, but she couldn't tell her. So his friends knew about Scandival, and then like Joe knew, but Joe seems to have more allegiance to Tom Sandoval because, you know, she's like, I love Rachel. Well, do you love her enough not to befriend and love on the guy she's suing for revenge porn? Because clearly you don't love her. You're not a very good friend. Joe and Lala do have a lot in common. And Joe does talk about her quite a bit on like her Instagram lives and how great Lala is. You know, they both are really bad girlfriends, and not girlfriends to guys. I mean, friends to women, where Joe's like, oh, yeah, no. People in her chat were literally asking her, how can you be friends with Rachel Raquel and Sandoval? She's like suing him for revenge porn. He like recorded her without her consent. And she was like, I'm just going to let the courts handle that. I love them. What? Ma'am. But now when it happens to them, you know, now we have to feel so bad for Joe. It's like, no. Now that, girl, you were in a situationship. Do I think Schwartz treated you shitty? Yeah, he did. But the signs were all there. And when he treated Katie shitty, or when Katie was like, this is a snake move, and she's trying to mourn, you know, her marriage and relationship of 12 years. What did Joe say? Get over it. Katie said, get over it. Well, now you had like a situationship where he let you stay at his house and then sleep with him or something, but he wouldn't ever claim that you're his girlfriend. Now you're like, I'm in a breakup. Wasn't that breakup like a long time ago? Like, I don't know. Call me crazy. I'm not sure. All right, let me see.
Relationships with his friends was with utter sensitivity and contrition. Do you ultimately feel you saw that from him?
I did see remorse, I did see contrition, but then he'll counteract that with something else, as Lala just said, saying, but in an apology, there are
I don't say I'm sorry,
buts.
but you did not just hear that. That's
No, I know, but
Tom,
you started your sentence
feel
with
like,
but.
I think maybe
I'm sorry, it ends there.
Maybe one of the challenging things is that there have been a lot of lies and betrayals in this group in the past. And I think that maybe in your mind, you wanted to point out and say, well, you did this. Do you think you got in your own way at all?
my reference towards that was in when things would happen with people in the past. I was never so attacking. You don't ever feel anything.
So I love when the producers are like, oh, you were never so attacking? Attack. And we already talked about that. But the fact is, just give it up. Give it up. The man's never going to get it. He is never going to get it. And he should not be rewarded for zero growth and continuing to spread his toxicity and ruining the show. He should not be rewarded with more money. Who the hell wants to watch Tom Sandoval anymore? It's watching cuckoo birds. It's not. It's not fun.
Attack me, but the way I come forward, it's like you've got a skewed perception of reality.
Did I do one podcast about you and Randall's breakup?
I wish you would have. I needed some fucking backup.
I didn't speak anything about
Please
this
make
breakup,
notes.
any breakups.
If I deal with another person like that,
I'm not doing that.
Start your fucking engine, because I would love some backup.
Which is so interesting because Tom Sandoval has since started a podcast. I mean, even during this, when this aired, he had quite a few episodes of his podcast in which he spews things about the cast and Ariana. So, okay. All right. Michelle, thank you for the super chat. Says production shouldn't have done a Tom redemption. It should have been focused on actual reality of women standing their ground. Thank you. And maybe showing other women about setting and keeping boundaries. Yes, that should have been celebrated. But unfortunately, what we saw is them try to trap Ariana, entrap her, and make her do things she clearly stated she was uncomfortable with, and things that she's like, I read my contract. I know what I'm doing. And that was, even Jeremiah was a bullfrog. He was like, come on, Ariana, don't do this to me. And she was like, no, I'm not doing this. I've given you guys so much. What more could you possibly want? I got to take Teddy and Buffy to do a little tinkle. So we're going to have a small commercial break. So grab yourself a beverage and we'll be right back.
Welcome to Goth Talk. I'm Cersei Nightshade. And I'm Azrael Abyss, Prince of Sorrow. Tonight, we're coming to you live from Suncoast High School. We're just down this hall. The pathetic day dwellers of the class of 1998 are celebrating the tawdry amusement known as the prom.
Hey, we'll be great. We'll be awesome. We'll knock him dead, right? Right? Yeah.
This is wrong.
What?
You. Doing my homework, it's wrong.
Well, I was just trying to help.
It's like I'm taking advantage of you or something.
You're not taking advantage of me. The square of the hypotenuse of a right triangle is equal to the sums of the square of the other two sides, baby!
It would be different if we were like... But now, we're just... You know... a friend or whatever.
No time! There's never any time! I don't have time to study! I'll never get into Stanford! I'll let everyone down! I'm so confused!
I can't do this anymore.
It's okay.
You're right.
It's okay.
Everything will be okay.
Yeah.
I just need one of these.
Pills? You mean you really are taking drugs?
No, in a way it was wrong, but I just have a feeling that this is going to be really good.
I don't know.
So whoever's going to tutor you, their name is next to yours.
Brain? Cray cow?
Are you... Brain?
Brian.
I need them.
Jesse, give me those.
I need them back. I have to sing.
Jesse! You can't sing tonight.
Yes, I can. I'm so excited. I'm scared.
So, anyway, the Odyssey is like this real long book, right? And
I don't believe this. I don't... You like do this? This is like how you live?
Yeah.
Welcome to Goth Talk. I'm Cersei Nightshade.
And I'm Azrael Abyss, Prince of Sorrow.
Tonight, we're coming to you live from Suncoast High School. We're just down this hall. The pathetic day dwellers of the class of 1998 are celebrating the tawdry amusement known as the prom.
Hey, we'll be great. We'll be awesome. We'll knock him dead, right? Right? Yeah.
This is wrong.
Operator, I'd like to make a collect call, please. First name Bob, last name is We Oughta Baby Eats a Boy.
Hello?
Collect call for Mr. Bob. We Oughta Baby Eats a Boy.
Sorry, wrong number.
Who's that, dear?
Bob, they had a baby. It's a boy.
Oh. Stop it!
Does that disgust you? Well, you disgust me.
I just started this job and my plugs weren't taking. My parents were brutally murdered and I was fat. So I turned to pot hoping it would solve my problems. But you know something? The only thing it fixed was my life. Look, all I'm saying is if you still want to smoke pot, then be prepared to spend a lot of time laughing with your friends.
What makes people all over America break down and cry like this? Call 1-900-9099-CRY and hear it for yourself. $2 for the first minute, 45 cents each additional minute. If you're under 18, ask your parents before you call. 1-900-9099-CRY.
Oh, Marlena. What a dump.
Let's face it, college is expensive. You got tuition, room and board, lava lights, stereo equipment. But one thing's not expensive. 1-800-COLLECT. It saves up to 44%. That's a lot of money.
All right, guys, thank you so much. I had to take the pups outside to do a little TT and get a little treat. So we had a small commercial break. Hopefully you enjoy my commercial mashups. We like to take a trip down memory lane. Okay, now let's get into, I have to know what you guys thought of Lisa Vanderpump seemingly encouraging Tom Schwartz and Lala a Tom Schwartz and Lala relationship or hookup, because we've been calling it all season over here that I honestly believe that there will be a time that Lala and Tom Schwartz do the diddy diddy. They will. I just believe it. I've been getting these feels for quite a while. She has been, you know, being like, ooh, and even on the after the show, she was like, ooh, he is a handsome man. I'm like, what? That's your friend, the homie. You said Katie's the homie. You were like, you're the homie, Katie. That's the homie's ex-husband. Ex-husbands are off limits. Ex-husbands, current husbands, people that my friends wanted to be their husbands, that's off limits. You get your own. And the fact that Lisa was, you know, Andy's like, you guys seem to flirt. And then Lisa's like, oh, that would be a beautiful couple. I was like, huh? What? Are you, Lisa? And this just like further fuels the theory that they really hate Katie and Ariana. They really want them gone. Either they know they're not coming back, or they are just like, the power of Katie and Ariana is so terrifying to them. Lisa's like, oh, yes. I mean, okay, so if Pandora divorces her husband, which I hear there's allegedly, you know, everything I say is true except for the parts that are false. Everything's alleged for entertainment purposes only. I hear that he might be an interesting character, but he leaves Pandora and then he hooks up with one of these ladies. You're going to be like, that's great. Doggies, be nice to each other. What's going on over there? Hey there. Come here, Buffy. They're getting rowdy. They're ready for their WALK soon. Okay. Then they're like, we need the nighttime. WALK mom. We need the nighttime. But I don't think she would be that cool with it. I'm just like, Lisa, what are you talking about?
Who is she? Who is she? Who is she? Where did you find her?
Where did you find her? I'm just like, Lisa, what's wrong with you? Why are you acting like this? So I thought that was pretty gross and very disrespectful. Katie's right there and she's like, what? No. And we had a whole last season where people were coming at Katie, and Katie was trying to state her boundaries, like, please don't date anyone in the friend group. So I'm sure she wouldn't want him to date one of who, I don't know if she considers anymore, but was and is now one of her closest friends, Lala. However, I could see her doing that. Unfortunately, I could see him. Lala keeps saying, I would never. And I'm like, okay. So it was so strange for Lisa to kind of ship this relationship and be like, oh, they would be darling. What? I wish she would try. Because I mean, not for Katie, but if you think the comments are bad now, Lala, oh no. I didn't talk about this last night because honestly, I don't like talking about Brock's situation with his children. I find it really, really sad. And I don't really understand it. And I feel bad that there are these kids on a whole nother continent that are going to see their dad on a television show talking about not being there for him. But Andy asks about it. He is caught up on his child support payments. Okay. And the mother of his child, his ex, I believe he said her name was Courtney. She is being what I think a super responsible mom and just being like, hey, until the kids bring it up, I'm not going to disrupt their world, because allegedly Brock, you know, he hasn't seen his kids in such a long time. And Courtney, his ex, I believe she has a husband who like acts as their dad. And how do you explain that? Hi, daddy chose to live in America, really far away from you, you know? So it's just a sad situation. I did think it was really sweet that people supported him. I did see that Brock did show some, you know, just remorse. And he did say actions have consequences, which I was like, don't say that too loud. The Toms are going to hear and they're going to go, no, we don't. So you can tell that he is hurt by that. But just so much damage has been done. And hopefully maybe, I don't know, when the kids are older. I hate this topic because it's just so, I really don't think it should be on television, especially since they're small children. I mean, they're at most, were like, I don't even know, could they be like 12 or something? And I could never be in a situation with a man who was ever behind on his child support or didn't have a relationship with his kids. And so this whole like summer moon is our starting over. I'm like, ugh, I don't like it. I don't like it. But he cries. I thought Ariana, I mean, she was crying. Katie was so gracious, and Katie was like, Brock, you're a great father. And she apologized to Brock. And I don't really think, I'll be honest, unpopular opinion maybe, I don't think Katie had anything to apologize for. Lala came the hardest at Brock, and then she's made amends because Brock has stepped up and been like a man figure in Summer Moon's life, I guess she's saying. And she's like, hey, Sheena does all the hard lift, and then she did like the blowjob move. I guess he like changes her light bulbs or something. I don't know what she needs him to do. Find studs in the wall. I don't know. I guess whatever she thinks men do. But he's crying, and then Katie apologized. But when Katie was questioning, those were all, when they did the flashback, those were all really good questions. It was like, but why? But why are you behind your child support? But why did this happen? But why? So, I mean, it's a sad situation. I don't want to pretend I'm like an expert on what's going on with Brock's life. I just hope, in my heart, I hope for Brock and his children and his ex-wife that some kind of like wonderful resolution happens. And I just feel so bad for these kids that exist in a world where hopefully their stepdad is just so fantastic and they don't grow. But I just feel like you're going to grow up, and there's going to be a lot of questions Brock's going to have to answer if his children do one day reach out. And hopefully he's ready for that. But it's just so sad. Me and my husband were talking about that, and my husband's like, what? Like, how do you explain that? Like, oh, daddy wanted to go to America and be famous, but you couldn't come home. And I know there was, that DV situation. Ugh, it's just like such a bummer. But Katie, I didn't think she had to apologize. It was nice of her to comfort him, because I don't, there's no use in kicking him when he's already like crying and knows that he fucked up. At that point, at least he has more self-awareness than Tom Sandoval, even though this has been such a shitty season for Brock, because he's just been like trying to mansplain his way through and be on the Tom train as well. But I don't know why I'm like a softie where I don't know. It's just sad because there's kids. I just don't even want to talk about this anymore. So that happens. Then she was like, oh, what's these? I'm just like, oh, Sheena, why did it's not fun. It's just too sad. It's too sad. Blue Bevy said Katie's line of question is what these reality shows should be, a little nosy and dramatic, but very good questions asked, right? But Katie's not real, according to Lala. But she came real with this. She can bring some drama, but she does it honestly. She really was wondering. So, Steph says it was nice of Katie, but not sure Brock has been the best. He has not been the best this season. He has been such a disappointment this season to me. But when it comes to like the kid thing, I'm just, oh my gosh.
Incredible amount of backlash to statements that you've made.
Okay, so Sandoval does talk about the New York Times article. We talked about this in yesterday's roast when Brock's like, it was clickbait. They're like, yeah, you compared Sandoval to George Floyd, O.J. Simpson. And Andy's like, do you have anything to say? Which is like, okay, yeah, answer the question. Like, why are you such a dumbass? Why did you do that? Like, have you learned anything from that atrocious interview? And Sandoval's like, oh, what do you want me to do? Like, campaign for myself? Like, what? Like, sell myself? Like, what? Explain yourself, sir. That's what we want you to do. And he's like, I just thought it was ridiculous. And everyone's just like handing him these outs. Like, did you think it was because of this? And he's like, they literally are speaking for him like he's a damn baby. And that's an insult to babies. They're like, Tom, did you say that maybe because you didn't understand at the time? And you just thought that kind of your affair that you had with Rachel Raquel shouldn't be as newsworthy as like some very serious news? And he's like, yes. He still doesn't get it. The man doesn't even understand that CNN has a whole pop culture section. Every major news outlet not only has We talked about this yesterday. They got financial news. They got international news. They got U.S. news. They got political news. They got pop culture news. They got style. They got travel. They got sports. I'm literally looking at, they have an entertainment tab on CNN. Okay? This isn't a new thing. Fox News has the same thing. Because guess what? It sells. It makes them money. Some people follow that, like everyone who watches Bravo. Okay. Right now on the CNN entertainment tab, there's a story. Kyle Richards' rat encounter will leave you laughing. So you're not special, sir. You're not special. And Brock's like, yeah, I think it was like clickbait. Yes, it was. That had the click. I didn't read it. I'm not going to pay for the New York Times. I'm like, sir, you are setting the jokes up. Mr. I'm behind on my payments for a while is like, I'm not going to pay for that. First of all, I read the whole New York Times article, and it was amazing that people were like, I didn't read it. I didn't pay for the New York Times. It wasn't even the New York Times. It was New York Times Magazine. The magazine. So it's just like, oh my gosh. Yes, Kayla says, I feel like he has gotten much less mature over the series. If you're talking about Sandoval, Linda says, Broke needs to zip it. I don't even know what Broke was trying to do. He was like, Brokeback Brock was like, he's clickbait. What do you mean there was nothing clickbait? Let me look up the article. Let's just look it up because it wasn't clickbait. So Tom Sandoval, New York Times Magazine. Let's see what the actual title is. I thought the journalist did a great job. Who wrote it? How Tom Sandoval became the most hated man in America. Yeah, He turned last year's season of Vanderpump Rules into the best reality TV in reality TV's history and ruined his life in the process. That's pretty clever. And if they're saying clickbait is that he's comparing his situation to George Floyd and O.J. Simpson, he 100% did. He 100% did. He should have just thrown like something else awful in there, like a school shooting, to just round it out, which he probably did. And Andy's like, you need to fire your PR person. I'm like, Andy, his PR person was a 23-year-old TikToker. I don't think she was. Well, she's probably on TikTok, but she was one of the best parts of the article. If you guys haven't read that New York Times Magazine article, it's hilarious. Yeah, no clickbait, Kelly Kell. There was none. So to like put that on the journalists or all those things, that's what he said. It's worse than you think. It's worse than the title. And it's kind of hilarious when they get to him talking about his PR person, because she's literally 23. I think it's her first gig. I think she works for maybe like her dad's PR agency or her mom's PR agency. Some kind of nepotism. Oh my God, it's so funny. We read it on one of my lives, and it was hilarious because she was like, oh, you did that? Like, she didn't know anything about him. And I'm like, I guarantee he hired this woman because she was hot, because he was trying to date her, a 23-year-old, when he is 78 years old. Very sick, Tom, very sick. But she was just like, oh my God, did he do that? Oh my God, what? He was in that? Like, she had no idea. She didn't stop any of the questions. And that's finally, I believe, when Bravo had to step in, and then they would have their PR people places. And I've seen them when certain cast members are doing interviews, like on Jeff Lewis, there will be, Bravo PR people who are there. But yeah, if you haven't read the article, it's horrible because he's such an idiot. But the part that's funny is that who his PR person is and how much she's just like, oh my God. Right in the article, it says, the author, the journalist says, I asked Sandoval why he thought the scandal got so big. And this is a quote from Tom. I'm not a pop culture historian, really, he said, but I witnessed the O.J. Simpson thing. Oh, just the thing. Okay. And George Floyd and all these big things, which is really weird to compare this to that, I think. But do you think in a weird way, it's a little bit the same? That's a direct quote from Tom Sandoval, sorry. And the journalist then says, I looked over at Riley. Riley's the 23-year-old PR person who was typing furiously on her phone. I think I knew what he meant. He was trying to express the oddity of becoming the symbolic center of a nationwide discussion and a major news story. What he communicated instead was something more honest, which is just how much the experience had made him lose perspective. I did what I did because I was in a happy place in my life, he said. I got caught up in my emotions and fully fell in love. Like for real, He sighed and drained his teacup. He then got up, put on some upbeat music, and went upstairs to get ready for a night out. Sometimes he says too much, Riley said. That's his publicist at the time. And the following day forgets what he says. So this is what his PR person, he goes upstairs to get ready to party. And Riley, the 23-year-old publicist who I'm obsessed with now, says, sometimes he says too much. And the following day forgets what he says. Then she goes upstairs to have a quick word with him. So then the next day after he says all this stuff, the article's pretty long. I'm just reading a couple things. The next day, the journalist says, I was supposed to attend the taping of one of Sandoval's confessional interviews for the show. I was about to get in my car when I received a text from his publicist, Riley's boss, saying he'd rather you don't attend today. He's not feeling the best. The next morning, I got a call from Alex Baskin-Robbins, the executive producer of the show. And the day after that, a Bravo publicist rang me late on a Friday. Some of what Sandoval had said had gotten back to Bravo, and everyone was concerned. What was it that he said about O.J. Simpson and George Floyd exactly? ? Maybe Sandoval wasn't ready for this. The Bravo publicist asked if I really needed to see Sandoval again. Could the network facilitate an interview with one of the show's other stars? So they were trying to pimp out anyone else. They're like, will you talk to Lindsay Hubbard? Like anybody? No? Anne, she's nice. She's cool. Okay. Carl no, he's kind of problematic too. Yeah. Sheena's always looking for something. So, I mean, this man, he totally shit the bed on that one. He shit his glitter pants on that. And yeah. And his little publicist, 23 publicist, he sometimes just says stuff, and then the next day he just forgets what he says. Yeah, Tom, put the psychedelics down. Okay. You're not supposed to be drinking ayahuasca every day. There's a point where you say too much shrooms. Keep talk short and simple. They need new publicists, right? Seriously. Aaron says, why do we have to do this damn reunion over the course of weeks though? Right? It's it's torture listening to this man. I don't need to hear anything more from him. I really don't. He provides no insight. It's like talking to a mannequin, and I'd have a better conversation with the mannequin. NYC MP says, so gross. Tom deserved to be dragged over and over again, especially during the reunion. What a huge disappointment. Yeah. We've been waiting for his ass to get dragged. Melissa Williams says, as a publicist, same day cancellations. Oh my God, you have to be kidding. That's how bad it was. So it's 3 parts, Lindsay. We're here till the 24th. Talking about this. What a great writer. I mean, she did a fantastic job. I'm pretty sure a woman wrote this. Because I remember seeing, Arena Alexander. And then Brock said, he's clickbait. No, Brock, it's not. It wasn't. They could have done him so. Actually, I don't think they could do him worse. He did himself so bad. So no. JL says, on TikTok, people go to his shows current day and apparently love it. I don't get it. I don't know. Mushrooms? Maybe they're on psychedelics. Tracy says, worms be wormin'. Oh, they definitely be wormin'. So Tom, obviously has no insight onto that. Just they talk about me. They shouldn't talk about me. It's and we're like, oh, Tom, please be quiet. Please be quiet. James talks about, we talk about Daniel. So here's something that was interesting that was in the Peacock version and not the Bravo version. Lala brought up, I don't remember this in the Bravo version, so maybe it was, and I just didn't remember it. So they were talking about Daniel and Ariana, are you going to be together? Are you going to, it's almost been a year. And then there's a little bit of talk that we saw on the Bravo version of James saying, yeah, me and Allie, Rachel was the it girl, and so no one cared about us, and people thought I moved on too quickly, but it was 2 months, and Ariana moved on in 10 days, but whatever, and Ariana's like, let it go. So they were trying to like pit the two relationships, who moved on too soon, which is like, I don't care at how soon either of them moved on after the shit show that was Rachel and Tom's affair. Who cares? I hope they're both happy. Ariana says that she is happy with Daniel, and that she would consider being like bi-coastal, and he has his own apartment, and Tom Sandoval's like, and Tom Sandoval talks about his new girlfriend, and she's so great, you guys, don't worry. She doesn't go here. You don't know her. She goes to a different school. It gave those vibes, like, oh, my girlfriend, you don't know her. She goes to a different school. She's like a model. She's like a supermodel. Okay, I've never heard of her. Her name is Victoria Beckham. Okay, I don't know any models named Victoria. Cool. And she's like, she got her own house. She like never watches the show. Every time he says this, he said it on the after show. He said it on the reunion. He's like, she like never watches the show. I'm like, yep, sure. Sir, she's in her 30s. She has seen the show. She's a 30-something-year-old woman. And if she hasn't, someone show her the show ASAP. One of her friends definitely watch it. No. He's like, she's so great, dog. She got her own house. She got her own car, 2 jobs, work hard. She's a bad broad. Like, he just started to recite lyrics. He was like, INDEPENDENT. Do you know what that means? And we're like, what? He's like, she got her own house. She got her own car, 2 jobs, work hard. She's a bad broad. We're like, okay, thanks, Tom. And then James is like, hey, yeah, she used to date Leonardo DiCaprio. Or Andy says that, and Lisa goes, oh, darling, you've done your homework. Yeah, Lisa. And he goes, oh, yeah, for like a second. And then James says it's weird because in their mudroom bathroom of the home he shared with Ariana, they had custom wallpaper, and there was a picture of Leo leaving the Chateau Marmont with Michelle Lawley. No, not Michelle Lawley, but that'd be funny if it ended up being Michelle Lawley from the Valley, with a model on his arm. And Tom's like, oh, yeah, it's custom. Yeah. And Ariana's like, I picked it out. It's my wallpaper. But yeah, he's trying to like feed us some line that, hi husband, are you giving me? Oh, you're trying not to be on camera. Oh, are we having Chipotle for late dinner?
I told you that over the phone.
Oh yeah, I already knew that. Sorry guys. He's outing our DMs. A little Arnie Palmer action. And then Ariana's talking about Dan. And Lala, again, with all her unprocessed trauma, she's just projecting. We see the scene with her mom, that scene that we didn't see in the Bravo version of the reunion, where she's like, I just question everything. I question, just like Sheena is like, I question, will Lala and Brock have sex? Maybe. I hate to be that person, but I don't know. Lala's moving so weird. I don't know. Well, people in the comments say that Lala and Brock light up when they come into the room. Oh, God. I don't know. Maybe. They're both being really weird this season, Sheena. And Sheena talks a little bit about her postpartum OCD. Oh, is everyone okay? Jesus, scares the shit out of me. You okay, Buffy? You okay, Teddy? You guys being good? Okay. They're like, we're good. And then, so they do a little bit of that. And then Lala scene, like I said, with her mom, and she's like, I just don't know. And her mom's like, that's okay. Because her mom's, everyone's on payroll in the family, allegedly. And I'm like, no, get her some help. And then Lisa's terrified that Lala, I just don't want you to be a bitter woman, a bitter, dried up woman who has sex during pregnancy. Lisa was very concerned that Lala's bitter. And then Lala's like, no, Daniel's been great. I just had questions for him. And Ariana seems like, okay, cool. Yeah, Daniel is great. Dan is great. Yep, Dan. And then Lala mentions, and I don't remember seeing this on the Bravo version. She was like, yeah, he's really nice. He is really kind to me in the DMs or something. She brought up DMs, and I'm like, oh, no. I don't remember this in last night's episode, but when I heard it in the Peacock version, let me know. If you guys remember this, I was like, what? And then Lisa Vanderpump, it almost seemed like a setup. Another setup where then Lisa's like, what do you mean he's kind to you in the DMs? What, darling, what does that mean about? She's like, oh, when I post pictures of summer moon and shit, no, my daughter's Ocean. My daughter Ocean, he be all up in my DMs saying like nice shit and he don't even have to. And I was like, oh no. Why'd she say it like that? Why is that? It just, with Lala, I was like, what's going on? What is going on? And you could see, like, at first Ariana's like, it's so nice. And then when she talks about it more, Ariana kind of looks at her. After everything Ariana's been through, don't be talking about any of her significant others being in your DMs. Allegedly, she says Daniel will send her a DM of like, oh, your daughter's so cute. You know what it could be? It could be, when you post stories on Instagram and if you like heart it or you see it, you can reply real quick, like super cute. It's probably something like that. But I was like, ooh, Lala, you dirty. You shut your mouth. You shut your mouth when you're talking about someone's man. You shut that mouth. I was like, why would you do that to your friend who just got out? Something so innocuous, something so innocent, most likely, but that your friend is just coming off of being betrayed so like horribly on such like a massive level for a long period of time. Why would you even say that? I was like, oh, she's dirty. She's dirty. Jen, thank you so much for the super chat. Jen says, I'm late, but I have to get this thought out. If it was already joked about, I'm sorry. But does anyone else think Lala planted Sheena venting about Dancing with the Stars to producers and only Katie didn't fall for it? Oh. Well, we do know she was pre-gaming telling Jeremiah was a bullfrog, like, and we can do this and we can do this to take Ariana down and we can do that. So anyone else think Lala planted Sheena venting about Dancing with the Stars to producers and only Katie didn't fall for it? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised, Jen. That's an excellent point. Wonderful theory. Very believable. Very, very believable. NYCMP, thank you for the super chat. Says Sheena, it's called female intuition. Roll the tape. I mean, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, Irene. Labla wants to climb Broke Brock. And I think Daniel. Remember, she was like, ooh, Daniel is, I had to dry myself off. When she saw Daniel with his hair down and his abs, Lala was like, she started ovulating. I think that's when she got pregnant. It was like an immaculate, horny conception. So Ariana, if I was Ariana, I would be like, hi, Dan. We're not going to follow Lala anymore. Neither of us, because she unfollowed me anyways. Moving on. But someone in the chat said, I'm glad Ariana didn't take the bait. I'm glad she didn't say anything. Me too. But I just thought that was so dirty that she said that. Queen Unicorn says, Joleen, Sheena is even more shady than we thought. Ariana said in her contract there were to be no one-on-ones with Tom. Yes. So in the finale, Sheena set Ariana up to talk to Tom to avoid breaching her contract. So in the finale, Sheena set Ariana up to talk to Tom. Oh, I could see that. I could see anything now. Anything's possible with how dirty they did this season. It was real sus the way that conversation happened. And Sheena could see Tom coming, but she didn't say, go, girl, go. If that was my friend and I saw her narcissistic, toxic ex who is still harassing her and trying to villainize her, I would be like, girl, run, girl, run. I'd be like, no. I'd be Charlotte from Sex and the City. No. Like I would freak out. I wouldn't just let him ride dirty up on my friend. I would never. I would just start punching the air. That's what I do when I'm walking to my car by myself and I'm scared. I just start acting cuckoo, just punching the air. Because my uncle was a homicide detective and he said the crazier you look and the more willing you look to fight, the less they're going to try to take you. So I just start just going crazy. Like, oh, you want some of this? Well, you have to fight for this, because I'll, just go crazy. That's how I done this to Sandoval. Just slap him. No, bitch, and I don't advocate violence except for when I advocate violence. Christina, thank you for the super chat. Christina says, I got pregnant once from a Tom Jones. Does Tom Jones sing, it's not unusual to be loved by anyone? I always get him and Wayne Newton mixed up. Are they both alive? I don't know. But Mazel, congratulations. Shani, thank you so much for the super chat. Shani says, love you much, Jolene and chat. Oh my God, this show help us. Help us all. Help us all. I'm telling you. Women, hot tip. Always be aware of your surroundings. Know where you're going, because it's hard out here for us. We're picking being alone with a damn grizzly bear or a Kodiak bear than a man. Okay. Know where you're going. Make eye contact. Because my uncle also said men who attack you, a lot of the people that they had interviewed, they strayed away from women who made eye contact with them, because then they could possibly identify them in a lineup. And also, if you look like you're going to put up a fight, they had a tendency to go, we don't want to go for those ones. So I look crazy. I look crazy. If I'm by myself, it's dark, I'm kicking. I don't care. I'm just like this. I got my keys right here, ready to get you in the eye.
That's how we met.
Oh shit, you scared me. I'm thinking about scary stuff. That's how I met my husband. No, that wasn't. Yeah. Yes. Lala flirting with Ariana and Katie's exes. She's just like the antithesis of pro girl at this point. The way she's doing this shit. It's horrible. NYCNP, thank you for the super chat, says, I carve clementines on the subway. Ooh, Sheena equals villain. Is that what you do to kind of keep people away from you? Like, do you want me to carve you up like this? Don't come for me, scary man. All right. Sheena equals villain. Boozy bitch says, remember when Lolo said Randall was a hot, manly man? I'm about to eat Chipotle and shoved him down our throats. Oh, Boozy. I wish I could forget, but yeah, I remember. And you remember when she recently said, Ariana is just pushing Tom Sandoval down our throat for all these years. And I was like, no, he was a principal cast member, like from the beginning, way before you came in, even before Ariana, when she was just a friend of you, were feeding us this guy. And you were like, oh, my man, don't come for my man. My man, he give me that good. And then she tells us now she had more fun getting inseminated and that he got a teeny weeny peeny. She also said on the after show that Tom Sandoval looks like he has like a pencil dick. I think that's what she said. Yeah, Big Rand. She was like, oh, Big Ed Rand. Come here, you little gremlin, man. You little predator. She literally brought the predator to the cast. Okay, so Lala, you can definitely own that you have really bad taste in men and that you need to be asking a lot of questions to your men. Ask to your men. All right. Now, if she was asking Daniel because she truly loved Ariana and was being protective, that'd be one thing, but it wasn't. She was hoping that she could, make him look bad. That's what she was hoping for. Annabelle, thank you for the super chat. Annabelle says, what is Lolo's business? BJ's repeated. We don't know. We're trying to figure that out. We've been on here for over 2 hours trying to figure that out, Annabelle. We don't know. I think it's sayings on sweatshirts, which is totally a business. Kristen Doty's got James May or whatever the business is called. They all hate on her, but then Lala gets a down payment for a Palm Springs house. Send it to Daryl. Send it to Daryl. Yeah, it's like it's She by Sheree. Oh, She by Sheree. She by Sheehan. Is that what they were calling it for a while? Let's see. What else? Where we? Let me see if there was there might be one or two more things with this reunion. It was actually pretty jam-packed, but it was like very frustrating most of the time. Okay, let's see. What's this one? Oh, how's your custody battle going, Lala? Oh, wow. Can't wait. Actually, I would be far more interested to hear about like Lauren's custody and stuff like that than her just hating on the other women due to jealousy.
Custody.
I don't fucking know. And it's just a fucking nightmare, but it's my reality and it just plays into why I wanted to do it this way.
Yeah. Lisa, there's been so much public support for Lala as a single mom. You've proven that there are many ways to have kids. You adopted yourself.
When I married Ken, his son was 15.
Okay, so Lisa's like, I have kids. I adopted. My wish for Lala is that she doesn't become a bitter woman.
Well, you would think that would The men are knocking.
So then she talks about Lala's like, the men are knocking since I'm pregnant. I am horny. Oh my God. And Lisa's like, oh God, no. I don't think you're supposed to do that. Okay. Okay, there's Brooke crying.
Lala, you were questioning Dan's motives for dating someone just out of a 10-year relationship.
Ariana gets a new man, and I'm like, what's his motive? This is weird.
There's nothing wrong with you questioning this, that, and the other right
I just
now.
don't want to be
You're more aware. Your blinders are off. So of course you're gonna think those things.
How do you feel about Dan now?
Dan has been nothing but lovely every time I've seen him. He acknowledges my kid through the DM, which I think is like very kind and means a lot to me.
What does that mean? Acknowledges my kid through the DM?
Well, I mean, like, if I post something of Ocean, he's like, oh my gosh, this is so cute. And like, that means a lot to me.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
He doesn't know me. He doesn't have to acknowledge anything that I do.
Ariana, I'm curious if you think getting into the relationship with Dan helped or hindered mourning the loss of the 10 years with Tom.
I think it's going to be a very long time before I'm going to be able to be fully processed through all those things. And I don't want to put my life on hold for, some day that I may or may not consider myself quote unquote fully healed, which I don't know when that will come.
It's not a destination.
Yeah, it's a journey.
Yeah. We're still on it.
James,
I love that. I love that Ariana is saying, when we be fully healed and how long should you wait? And it literally is different for everybody. Some people get in relationships soon after another relationship is over, and some people take a lot of time. It just depends on the person. I always say this, but my husband and I both came out of long relationships, and we got together pretty soon after. We were both out. He had been out before I was, and we were in a stand-up comedy workshop class in Phoenix together, and I didn't think of him that way. And I was in this shitty relationship, but it finally ended, and then he asked me out, and I was like, I can't go out with him. He's 4 years younger than me. Oh my God. He was like 25. I was 29 at the time, and we've been married ever since. And now I'm 44. So you just don't know. You just don't know if it is too fast or too slow. It depends. So I think it depends on the people. And for Ariana, I feel like she is similar to where I was. I mean, I was only about to turn 30, but I was like, I wasted enough time with this person. I'm not going to let them waste any more of my time. Now, some people could argue, you need more time to process that. And some people might need more time. It depends. It's situation to situation, I guess. Kirsten, thank you so much for the super chat. Kirsten says, sorry, I'm late. I will have to rewatch, but Lala is upset because she wasn't granted the same support from Randall, period. Ungrateful, jealous, bitter thing she's become. Unfortunately, you're not wrong, Kirsten. Yeah. And it's truly like sad to see that she has become that. Yeah. Yes. Queen Unicorn says they're acting as if she started a Facebook official relationship with Dan. Yeah. And I think that's what Ariana's point was when James was talking to her about that. He's like, and Ariana, she got with him 10 days. And she's like, I didn't get with him. Like, I met him like 10 days maybe after Scandal. Didn't get with him. Like, we were introduced because I think they were at the same wedding. And she was like, because they talked about on the or the Peacock version, of the episode, the San Francisco episode where they were out to lunch with a lot of the cast. And there was this part that they didn't include in the Bravo version of the show, which I was disappointed because it was nice. Allie asked, what were you guys' first thoughts of each other? And they had these really nice stories of why they were originally attracted to one another. And, so Ariana's like, no, I didn't just like go within 10 days and we were in a relationship and hooking up with him. I met him there. But still, everyone wants to make it like, oh, like she's, like it's a Lala situation where Lala was like, I let him hit it on the first date. Then even Lala went like, not the first time I ever saw him, the first date. So, Erin, yeah, she can't win. Like it's in her situation. It's either you're super slut who moved on too fast, or now you're a bitter, dried up, woman like Lisa's saying that Lala is. Aaron says if she still wasn't dating anyone, everyone would act like she's incapable of getting over Tom and will never trust a man again, or they would justify it, I guarantee, and they would go, see, no one will date her, and it's been like a year, so poor Tom, what he had to go through. Like that's the kind of thing that we hear about women. Yeah, women, you can't win in that situation. You cannot win. Either you have sex too soon, you have sex too late. Somehow it's always going to be your fault. So we've kind of got accustomed, unfortunately, to being blamed for that shit. So when we see that continually happen on our favorite show now, and again, something that was such like Scandival was handed on a platter to be like, okay, all right, now's the time. They cannot hide these two men in their like misogyny edits. They there's no way they can't. Like they have to be accountable. Like Scandival. It showed us who Tom Sandoval really was. It showed us who Tom Schwartz really was. Obviously who Rachel really was. But and then they're like, oh no, we can still protect them. We can still blame certainly you can't blame the woman for this. Oh no, we can. We can. Did she stock the batteries? Is she a cold bitch? Did she deserve this? You know, they even tried to drag Kristen like, well, you lose them how you get them. And even Kristen Doty had to show up with some spells in her pocket and go, no, this isn't the same situation. Me and Tom had a shitty relationship. We both cheated on each other left and right. So Tom and Ariana had like, they were like monogamous life partners, that it was way more than what we had. So his ex-girlfriend had to like stand up for her. That's how much they really wanted to pit Ariana as like this bitch who deserved it. And then Kristen had to show up and she was like, no, I was fucking everybody. He was fucking everybody. It's not the same. It's not the same. Ariana got screwed over. So it's horrible. It's horrible, you guys. Okay, let's see. So
Last year you had started with Allie pretty.
okay, so then James is going to talk about that. Oh, when Schwartz invited everyone to Schwartz and Sandy, Shirts and Skeezies, he's like, we're having an after party. You guys want to come to the after party? Katie's face was like, are you serious? We're not coming. I think Katie said she had, Lala's like, did you say you have pussy hairs to cut? And she was like, no, I didn't. Okay, sorry, finger guns. Like Lala made it really gross. And Katie goes, I think she said she had to cut her cuticles. And Lala's like, did you say you got to cut your ussy hairs? And she was like, no, I said my cuticles. My cuticles.
So
I'm gonna wear this.
You
trim your pussy hair? Is that what you said? Your cuticles.
Tough question, but have you been able to pay your mom back yet?
No. She's she's at peace with that. We're gonna get there. We're in the black. We're making moves. I have an idea. So
Ariana, while Pump was closing doors, around the corner was something about her.
We already talked about that, but they also had the sorry, we're over almost 2.5 hours, guys. My mind is kind of not as sharp. But oh no, I lost it. It's not that important. We get to the point where Ariana, Andy's like, Ariana, are you upset with Lala and how she dealt with Tom this season? And Ariana's like, no. And Lala's like, no, bitch, tell me the truth. Tell me the truth. Lauren from Utah, bitch, I can take it. Tell me the I'll just cry on Instagram or I'll just cry on Amazon Live, but tell me the truth, ho. And it's just like, Lala. And Ariana says, no, I'm okay with it because I haven't watched the show. Whenever, Lisa Vanderpump's like, there's no way Lisa watches every episode of the show. And Tom Sandoval's like, I told her. I'm a hero. It's like, Tom, you're not a hero because you showed up. I know he wants to be out there and be like, Rachel's a fucking coward. He always wants to blame a woman. It didn't impress Ariana when he was doing that. And then he's like, yeah, and then she tried to, she included Ariana on the revenge porn lawsuit. It's horrible to do that to Ariana. I'm like, sir, sit down. Quit trying to gain favor by throwing Rachel under the bus. Yes, Rachel's actions are disgusting. Okay, but we're focusing on you right now. So Ariana's like, I haven't really had time. I really haven't had time. And I loved it. She's like, just been busy. And they're like, oh my God. She's like, also, I didn't want to relive that. It was pretty traumatic. I was there. And then Lala's like, I get that. Yeah, bitch, I get it. Okay, Lala. So then that opens up the door to the Katie Lala, which we've talked about ad nauseum now. And I do want to show you guys, though, that Lala has went on she's already addressing. So last night, Katie posted after all of this came out and after Lala totally tried to set her up, trap her, just horrible, horrible friend move, talk about their private messages. And Katie posted to her stories. Okay, you guys. So as she posted this to her stories, I'll read it to you here. I hate that. I watched some YouTube lives, not to be a hater, but I'm going to kind of be a hater for a second. And when creators show me something and they don't read it to me, they're like, you can read it. No, that you read it to me. That's your job. I'm not reading this little, what if I'm just listening with an AirPod in my ear? You read it to me. I hate when they do that. They put stuff up and they don't read it, or like comments and they don't read them. I'm like, I don't know who you're talking to because you didn't tell me what the comment said. So when she posted this in her story after the reunion, Katie Maloney did, and she posted it along with the song. And the song she posted with this, before I read it, it's I Hope You Choke. And I was like, damn, Katie. I mean, fitting. So Music Kills Katie on Instagram, 51 minutes after I watched the reunion. I think she posted, or maybe a couple hours. Anyways, she says, I'm someone who has suffered from imposter syndrome for as long as I have known myself. Hence why I was apprehensive about opening the sandwich shop on my own. So when Ariana was going through not only a world of hurt, but also getting some amazing opportunities, that changed a lot. Wait, did I read that right? So when Ariana was going through not only a world of hurt, but also getting some amazing opportunities, that changed a lot of things during a pivotal time. I was extremely sensitive to what she was going through, but also very supportive. I was also dealing with immense insecurity about what I could take on and simply didn't want to put that on her. I had an emotional response that didn't feel appropriate, bringing to her front door. So I went to where I felt safe, or where I thought I was safe, until I could find the appropriate conversation was to have with Ariana, which of course I did. And we have had plenty since. So this is her response to Lala with the song, I Hope You Choke. I was like, I've been very proud of Katie. I was like, get her.
I'm just scoot on over and let you whack him. Get him again. Get him for me.
Done. So Katie posted that. So then, of course, Lala is like, well, I'm going to sell some stuff today and let's talk about it. So here's a couple clips. I think the first one was captured by Bywig Hello Drama at Bywig Hello Drama on the Instagram and the TikTok.
You can slide in the chat, but Amazon only sends me the nice ones. So if you're going to troll me, head on over to Instagram. Because I won't be seeing it here. WK says, Lala, all of the headlines coming out of the reunion are about you today. I feel like every headline this season has been about me. My back hurts. My back be hurting. Call Vicky, I need a massage. No, I'm sorry. That's me just tooting my own horn again. The beep beep. I feel like people are with you because you're not afraid to have an unpopular opinion. I'm happy that you said that. You know, I don't read the comments, right? But I'm not living under a rock or in a cave. I'm well aware of what's being said, okay? And I think the hardest part about this season is normally, you know, I'm no stranger to having people be very diehard for me or want to light me on fire. There's never really been an in-between. This season was a little different because the hate was extremely loud. And my mom has always told me you're in charge of your own emotions. and I know that I can't control what people are saying in the comment section. And for some reason this season, I was not able to control how I was feeling. And I'm also pregnant. So what can I do? Well, I can say to myself, I'm not going to look at comments. I'm going to remove myself from social media. And it was hard this round because when I've gotten a lot of heat, for example, Raquel for many years, when I would go in on her over and over again and people would tell me that I was a bully or this, that, and the other, there were moments that I could say, you know, I wish I would have handled that differently, and I was heated in the moment. This is the first season where, like, I stand behind what I said and I stand behind what I did. So there's no remedying the audience's opinion of me right now. So what do? When you can't control other people and you can't control your own emotions, you remove yourself. And that's what I've had to do. And I'm okay with that. But just so you know, just because I am not actually seeing it and in the comment section, I know what's being said. And I felt that there was a line where when we're talking about the show and things like that, I'm all about. I'm a reality TV person. I'm obsessed. When I start seeing people talk about me as a mother, start talking about my kids and going so far below the belt where it has nothing to do with Vanderpump Rules anymore, that's when I tap out because a fire sets into my chest and I just don't want to expose you guys to that because you didn't sign up for it, right? You have a platform, you're allowed to say whatever you want. And I appreciate what you guys say and I appreciate you guys watching, whether you like me or don't like me, don't like Katie, don't like Sandoval, whatever it may be, you guys tune in and I appreciate that.
Oh, now you appreciate it. Because I could have sworn just last week, you and your brother were singing a whole different tune, calling us rabies bitches, but now you appreciate us. Uh-huh. So Lala starts this by saying, you know, oh, I thought all the headlines are about me. I've been carrying the show on my back. I'm sorry? I'm sorry? I'm sorry? No, that hasn't happened. I don't think you've ever carried this show. No, definitely no. Lil Lamb, thank you for the super chat. Says, can you please talk more about your sobriety somehow or somewhere and how you went about it? Yeah. I'm trying to think. I guess if there's more interest in that, I kind of mention it quite often, but I guess you know, you guys can always DM me or email me if things you're specifically looking at, but maybe I could do like a members thing or yeah, maybe we could make that happen. I'd have to think about you know, how to approach that. I think and anything having to do with sobriety and stuff, it's a really personal journey and not everyone's there's not a one-stop shop. There's not a one way to get sober, stay sober, be sober. But I'm always willing to share my experience and talk about, you know, my journey, I guess. But yeah, I can definitely consider, are you talking to like dedicating a whole live? Maybe we could, I mean, if there's people interested in that, we could definitely talk about that stuff. I know we have a lot of sober guys and gals in the chat. And it would be interesting to hear other people's stories. I'm kind of bored of my own story, but yeah, maybe I'll have to think about that some more. But I always talk about it. If you guys ever have any specific questions, you know, I can answer it to the best of my ability. But yeah, but thank you for that super chat. And that is really nice of you. Kirsten, thank you so much. Says she wasn't pregnant during the season. Don't use your child as a scapegoat. Oh, she will. People come in my comments and they go, Joleen, you're a bully and you're mean. Leave her alone. She's pregnant. And I'm like, what? Huh? What? Because we're commenting on what she said on the TV show and what she continues to say on her social media? Huh? Okay. This is very Tom Sandoval. Very Tom Sandoval of her. Anna says Lala needs to realize there has literally never been a season where she's been the main character. Like never. She thinks she has. She had Jax Taylor syndrome. And I remember, I forgot what reunion it was, but it was, maybe it was, I don't know what season that was. She was wearing all white and she was with Rand. And Stassi was saying, that Lala literally, she said it was like the Lala show or something. And Sheena goes, well, Stassi, you said that it was a Stassi show. She's like, yeah, and I had to answer for myself. So I want her to answer for it or something like that, if I'm remembering correctly. Jesse Dickerson, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, just joining. Did you talk about blah blah's comment about Ariana's? Yes, we did. Just rewind a little bit. So dirty. I was like, we got to say that? Can't you just say he's just a kind person? But we got to mention specifically DMs. And we know that there is a certain, connotation going down in the DMs after your friend has been betrayed like that, to even imply anything with a D. My mouth dropped, Jesse said. Why is he DMing about her daughter? Well, first of all, I want to see the DMs because a lot of people on the show are damn liars at this point. And I was saying it could even be like when someone posts stories, when you heart it or you say, oh, she's cute or something like that. But yeah, I don't know if she was just trying to like set the bait for Ariana to bite, but Ariana's like, I'll just talk to Daniel. That's what, if I was Ariana, I would just talk to Daniel about it. If you had any issues, I wouldn't even waste my time with Lala. Don't give her nothing. Don't feed the monster. Like Kat Williams says, once you find out what people's motivation is and what they're trying to get, and you stop the source for toxic people, that's like, it's like, like gray rocking. You just, what Ariana's doing to Tom Sandoval. Don't feed her.
Toxic people are trying to get things. They're not being toxic for no reason. They're gaining something out of how they operate. That's why they operate like that, because they get something. As soon as you find that out, you'll be able to cut off what they're getting, and they will leave. Yeah.
Yep. And she'll leave you alone. Don't give them nothing. Don't give them nothing. Thank you. Kirsten says that's why Ariana had to have that combo and VPR was put on hold because you carried the show, Lala, right? Then why hound Ariana? Kirsten, you are so smart. I didn't even think about that, but yeah, exactly. Then why are you so pressed? Why are you so pressed and willing to, sell your soul? Why are you so afraid? If you can carry the show, then you don't need, certainly you don't need Ariana. If you're the star and you're carrying on your back, because you love to say it's an ensemble, but you're the first person to take credit for the ensemble. Ariana literally got reality star of the year and all of these other opportunities. And here you are going, oh, my back hurts. Oh. No, please stop. No. Varian says, no, Jolene was right. When you make a comment under a story, it automatically sent to the DM. Yep. I said that to try to make it seem like he was DMing her. Yeah, I think that could happen. Like if you just like comment on a story, it goes to your DMs. And I'll almost put money on that shit. That he is not like, let me go directly to her DMs. Dearest Lauren from Utah. What up, thug? Your baby look good. Bye. Like, no, Lauren. No, she also said Tupac is, his spirit went in her when he died. So, yeah, I mean, Kirsten, great point. Thanks for the super chat. The water tasting. I can't wait for a full season of Lauren and her water tasting. And that's me as a sober girl. No thanks. Can you at least try like different soda pops or something? Water? Ma'am. No. Yeah, Tupac is rolling his grave, Jail. Yes. He literally is. Okay, let's watch the next. So she wasn't done. This is another part of her Amazon Live.
Before season 11 started filming, or was this before season 10 started filming? So season 10 had wrapped, and it was in between season 10 wrapping and the season 10 reunion. It was in, I believe, maybe December, and I actually still have the screenshots. Because of course I took screenshots. Of course. And the reason she called me a clown was because I was hanging out with Sheena. And then my heart's like pounding. with what, like, the message that she sent to me. Because we were, like, in a good place at that time. I'm like, who sends this? Like, who sends a message to their friend like this? And I think the most hurtful thing was when she signed off saying, like, you need, and she very much did say these things. Because she was, on the reunion, she was saying that she didn't. So literally, I read them this morning. And she knew exactly why I had lawyers. She knew exactly what my lawyers were doing in my custody battle. And for her to just throw that out there was just, like, so wild to me. But I was proud because when I read the messages, I was like, wow, I, like, really disengaged, which is not like me.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want, that was my friend.
Irene, I think I sped it up just a little bit because it was, like, taking forever. So basically, again, throwing Katie under the bus, and what she said, I just couldn't believe it. Girl, she called you a clown and told you to get therapy. That's just good advice and good judgment. So I don't know what the problem is. I know you want to make this into some big thing, and poor Lala, but she didn't say nothing about your child custody case. And again, she's like, I looked at them this morning. So she's screenshotting it. So just know, everyone who is messaging or friends with Lala, all your messages she's recording to use against you at a future date. That's really good for trust. That is awesome. So I mean, you're giving us clown, Lala. That's what you're doing. You're a clown. All right, let me see if I have anything else here. Obviously. Player hater. I mean, it'll never not be true, unfortunately, about Zilala, that she is a player hater. Wake up. Jolene, go rest that beautiful voice of yours. I think I could do a karaoke band. Okay. Now, I know there was another creator who captured something else she was saying, how on this Amazon Live, that she was still team. Okay. So shout out to the creator at Blonde Hair Black Heart on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. He posted a little clip here, and he said, the fall from feminist grace is wild, to be honest. So here is more in this Amazon Live of Lala trying to save herself from just living in her truth.
Relationship with Sandoval today. That's what's so wild is when it was like I didn't jump on the Sandoval train. I think this was the first time that it was kind of like just seeing all sides. And again, Sandoval and I have never been close. This was a healing process for me, being like, you know what, I'm gonna let that stuff go. I don't want to see you or hear your name and want to light you on fire. Whether you guys believe it or not, I would always choose Ariana. You were in the wrong. There may be things with Ariana that don't make sense to me, but that I'm sticking with her.
All right, guys, let's address this. So number one, the notion that you will always have Ariana's back and ride for her in any situation. This is patently false. We've seen it on the show. It's bullshit. You do not have her back. You have not had her back. So who are you kidding? Number two, you make it very clear that you are not friends with Tom Sandoval, and you've never been friends with Tom Sandoval. So if that's the case, why was it so hard for you to rally behind someone who is your friend, supposedly, Ariana, and support her when she's been done so dirty by this guy? Like, you say that you just want to let it all go, but you know, that's really easy for you to say and do when he didn't do anything to you, you know? Basically sounds like you just don't want to support your friend and you'd rather stay out of it. And that's really surprising to me because for years now, Lala has touted herself as the feminist voice on this show. So like, where the hell did that Lala go? And why are we stuck with Lauren from Utah? You know, like, it's baffling. I'm baffled.
Shout out. Great. Blonde Hair Black Heart on the Instagram and the Twitter. If you guys don't follow him, check him out. Shout out to him. That was his take on it. But this lady she's all over the place. I saw someone in the comment. I don't know if I highlighted it, but GoFundMe coming soon for Lauren. And that is, that's the truth. It's just, it'll be interesting to see where she goes. I also enjoyed this tweet I saw. Shout out to Stardust_Loon says, interesting how she, Lauren, goes against people, polices their choices and the spaces they occupy, called the show's lead irrelevant. Meanwhile, she parasitically leached off her story, but cares when she's called a clown. Yeah. Lala, you are getting eaten up. You can turn your comments off all you want, but you are getting eaten up. People are eating good in the neighborhood, Applebee style, because you look like a damn fool, lady. It's no. She's like, I'm in my soft era, guys. It's not soft. It's just a shift. You've shifted your hardness, your aggressiveness, your anger onto other people. That's what you've done. You've shifted it onto the women. So we don't see a softness. So there's a Twitter account that I love, Rex Weed. And he just always, his stuff. I just always like his stuff. He has the best takes. He says, Ariana's face while that sleazy snake fucker was riding around to justify weaponizing her mental health is the same face I make when people tell me he was serious about his own convenient claims made to people who have experienced the tragedy before. I just like that he called him a snake fucker. Rex Weed, I mean, every time. I very much enjoy the takes. Here's another Rex Weed, because I think we all at this point, we all need each other. We all need to be there for each other as they continue to just try to gaslight us with these idiots who just bury themselves. They're trying to save Tom. Next, they're trying to save Lala. And they just keep burying themselves every time they open their mouth. Rex Weed says, you booked a ton of brand deals. You finished third on Dancing with the Stars, went to the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and released a New York Times bestselling cocktail book. Plus, she's on Broadway. Keep going, motherfucker. As Andy listed out all of Ariana's accomplishments, and literally none for Tom. It was like, Tom, you were breathing. You did it. Yay. Shout out to Bravo Babe. I liked this. Katie and Ariana at everything everyone is saying, with a Grey's Anatomy picture that is so relevant for this situation. Now, I also love this woman's tweets. I'm always liking her tweets. So shout out to @T Waters, or T Waters. You can see it on here. Show her some love. She posts a picture of Ariana and Katie, and she says, these two could admit on air that something about her is a money laundering scheme, and I'd still be Team Ariana and Katie. Launder that coin, girls. Launder that coin. And that literally is how bad the rest of the freaking cast is. Like, that's how bad your show has become, that we're like, even if we find out that these two are like, just like money laundering, they're just like driving into people's houses for fun, we'll be like, it's okay. No big deal. That's how bad your show is. That's how much we want to cheer for these women. Okay. So as much as it is terrifying Bravo, or terrifying Lisa, or terrifying the Toms, or terrifying the patriarchy, or terrifying Jeremiah was a bullfrog, or Alex Baskin Robbins, we want to cheer for these ladies. So even if they are money laundering, I was like, same. I don't give a fuck. Yes. Like Kirsten says, they deserve all the coin. Give them everything. At this point, I hope they get all the opportunities. They have been the only watchable thing about this damn show. Yeah, wash that money right out of my sandwich. I'm gonna wash that money right out of my sandwich. Yes, Candy. Lala needs to learn inner peace. Have a break. Have a Kit Kat. Yeah, she needs a Snickers. Something's going on. Lala needs a break from reality TV. She doesn't need to be on the Valley. Tom Sandoval needs to be fired. I would fire Tom Schwartz. I think he's just as bad, and he's kind of a sad case. At this point, yeah, I think that's the only way you can salvage. And maybe, but I mean, last time they brought on new people, the guys were trash. Remember Max? Obviously, remember Max because Katie was like, oh, you want to disrespect me, Tom Schwartz, and not respect my boundaries? Well, then choo choo, motherfucker. I'm going to run a train through your friend group. And she wasn't lying. And we love Katie for it. Over here, We say, come on, ride the train and ride it choo-choo. So put your trains in the chat for Katie Maloney. And if Tom Schwartz, if he pulls any more silly shit, pull that train, girl. Pull that train. We are here for you. And then they had that other weird guy that was in the Sheena music video where they were like, I think she tried to have sex with me. And he was like using her hair as a... He was like, woo. That guy was he was awful. He was like I think he was a YouTuber and a sports and fitness model, maybe. Yes, I love the train. Choo choo, come on, ride that train and ride it. All right, you guys. I gotta go get these dogs on a night. WALK. I can't say the word because Teddy's right there. I don't want to get him too excited because I gotta go eat my Chipotle. It's 9 o'clock. Brett. Yes, Brett's his name. You guys have been fantastic. Shout out to everyone who joined in the live chat. I really appreciate these little therapy sessions we do after the Vanderpump Rules debacle. Shout out to all my super chatters, Jesse Dickinson, Kirsten. Let me start at the top. Melissa, Chickenhead, Grace, Christina, Jill, Michelle, Susie, Liz Loring. Thank you for becoming a member. I don't know if I recognized this earlier, and I apologize. Thank you so much. Melissa again, Pamela B, Chickenhead, Melissa, Susie Q, Liz Walker, Kate, Elisa, Samantha Stevens, Michelle, Jen Noel, NYCNP, Christina, Shawnee, NYCNP, Annabelle, Kirsten, Little Lamb, Kirsten, Jesse Dickerson. You guys are amazing. You're awesome. Thank you to those of you who hit me up on the Venmo, PayPal, Cash App. I got a couple notifications while I was live. Please follow me on social media if you're not already at Jolene Lunzer on Instagram, TikTok, and also at No Offense, All Offense on Instagram. So I have 2 Instagrams you can follow and a TikTok, and I'm also on Twitter. I'm mostly RT on Twitter, I'll be honest. I'm not that fun to follow on Twitter unless Big Brother's on because it'll never be X to me. It's always going to be Twitter. You guys are amazing, wonderful, lovely, beautiful little pumpkin spice babies. And I so appreciate our chats. All right. Leave a comment, please, after the video post because I don't get to everyone. We were like over 1,000 strong tonight and the live, so I can't get to all the comments, but I appreciate them and I love it. I love like Gigi. Shout out to Gigi. I love Gigi putting the comments. I'm just gonna pull some of my live comments and put them so you can see them, and I love that. Never think you're commenting too much. I love reading your comments. All right, and hit that like if you haven't already. And I'll be back very soon. I know I have to do a Valley roast and recap, some more No Offense, All Offense. We got lots of fun stuff coming your way, you guys. I hope you have a wonderful night, day, morning, wherever you are in the world, and always remember to enjoy yourself. It's later than you think. Bye. If you like what you see